Who's coming with me?
It's a short shot. We the source now. Taking over the game, put it on padlock. With a better roster, sick as a plate of lobster. Let them niggas hate, but revenge will never stop us. It's a short shot. We the source now. Taking over the game, put it on padlock. With a better roster, sick as a plate of lobster. Let them niggas hate, but revenge will never stop us. Kill the cancer, you can call me a sick assassin. Cut the chains, you can call me LeBron James. Make a decision, but you never had me in derision. Changing the vision, but mark them that cause division. For real? Never in submission like I need permission. Nigga steady telling lies like a politician. Nigga need to cool it down, but we the new edition. Yes. Yeah, the name is the source. Check the reinvention. For real? You think we not prepared for the fallout? Watch us stack this information. Watch
Yo, welcome to the source, man. As you see in the building, shout out to the Gold Coast Gorillas, man. Right? Shout out to the tanks on the ground. That's what we do, man. All right, man. So we got some brothers on here. I want to introduce the heavyweight champion, Scholastic Bully in the building. Talk to us, family.
Yo, 7 days, man. You know, y'all know where I'm coming from. Been trying to put on for the source and keep this content going, man. We got a brother that wanted to present his information and lay it out for you guys. So, you know, y'all got it. He's going to make sure it's digestible for you and provide you with a good meal. But, you know, this is going to be a vegan meal. Ain't that right, brother?
Always vegan. Always vegan. You already know.
Intellectual food for the mind. All right. So, yeah, as you see in the building, Jeremiah.
Well, check this out, Daron, man. We definitely want to give you opportunity, man, to again, you know, readdress the people, introduce yourself to the people, and really kind of we want to get a true understanding, what, you know, unfiltered, of where you're coming from, because I have an understanding, Joshua have an understanding of what the biblical narrative is actually speaking of in regards to what the Most High has given us in the realms of understanding. So we want to give you opportunity to lay these things out uninterrupted. All right. So, but there will be questions.
Oh, well, look, that's how we actually discussed it. We were going to dialogue on,
right,
you know, back and forth, because, you know, I want to ask you guys questions of, you know, why you believe what you understand what I'm saying. So we're gonna sit down and have a grown men conversation on evolution and us evolving, and then, you know, digging into the nuts and bolts of what the actual Bible is talking about. A lot of times, you know, it's debates, but, you know, when you debate, you go back and forth, and then it's just 3 questions and it's over. So you don't really get a chance to dig into it. So it's more like a round table for kings to speak tonight.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it, man.
All right. One of the things first I'd like to say before I speak, my name is Daron. I give all my praises, all my allegiance, all what I know in my teachings, as far as when I'm speaking, and this form is to who I call I, that is the creator. There's none higher nor more wiser than I. When myself is saying I, myself is not referring to Daron as I. I is the creator. So I just wanted to make sure I put that out there. One of the things I wanted to open up with that I don't think's ever really touched, but a lot of people we have a issue with it from my standpoint, and what I see is the name of the creator. You know, if you speak Israelites, they say Yahweh, or they say Yah. If you talk to Muslims, they'll say Allah. If you talk to Jehovah Witness, they'll say Jehovah. Then you have brothers that say Elohim or Adonai. So there's a lot of different names. So in Psalms 23:3, it says that he restoreth my soul, and he leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for my name's sake. And I thought that was very deep, because before anything can be done, you must be able to identify who you're speaking with. So when you hear myself coming on here using the name I I is not a God. I is the actual creator that is above all gods. But a lot of people don't understand that. So I try to break it down in this retrospect. We have three entities that encompasses who we are. The first is the me. That is our ego. That is our lower nature. Some call it meism, greed, our weaker side. Then we have self or myself. That is the conscious being. That is the one when we've awakened and we know who self is. And then there's a conjunction, which is and. Once you say and, A-N-D, it's no longer the me or the self. And is a completely separate entity after and. It's introducing something or someone other than yourself. So when you see I, that is the spirit. And one of the things I wanted to open up with the brothers about is do we recognize the spirit and the flesh as one, or do we see it as separate entities? And I'd be curious to hear what either one of you brothers said about that.
Well, according to my understanding, when you're dealing with the flesh and you're dealing with the spirit, it's in conjunction with behavior, right? You could be operating and doing certain things as in your day-to-day interaction in your life. You could be doing things a certain way that would be identified as the flesh. You understand? And this is outlined in Galatians 5, and I'll pull it up real quick.
Okay.
So we can actually look at the difference between the flesh and the spirit. Right? And it's connected to behavior. Right? Let me go into the blue. Joshua, you want to say something while I'm pulling this up?
Yeah, I'll read some of these comments, man. Consu wanted to know, why does the name matter? I'm guessing what you said, brother, to you, brother Daron.
Yes, sir. Well, when we first introduce ourselves, like I can call you brother, I can call both you guys brother, but until you identify who you are, and we're amongst, let's say, 30 people in the room, and I don't know your given name or the name that you would like to be identified by, then I don't know who you are in actuality yet. So the way the creator operates is by introducing the creator to who we are. You don't know anybody until you actually have a name. Now, when you look at, like I said earlier, all the other names that are put out there, Allah is actually not a name. Allah only means God in Arabic. But I've seen Jehovah, which came from land, Yahweh, which came from the Tetragrammaton. Elohim, I believe, was one of the first names before. And you have a whole bunch of other small names for gods. Like you have Baal, Bel, what's another one?
Horus,
Osiris, Adani, like I said earlier. So there's a lot of different names. So when you're trying to confuse someone, that's what you do. The first thing we do as a human, and we're in trouble with something, what do? We create a whole bunch of aliases. So if I keep creating aliases, I'm making you chase the rabbit hole trying to find out who I actually am. So this is why myself is explaining that the name N23:3 says is, the battle is for my namesake. So
Yeah.
the creator wants us to know the name first.
Let me go ahead and respond to that the question about the flesh and the spirit.
Yes.
And then I want to ask you something concerning philosophy. All right.
You said
So
philosophy?
I want to ask you some
Absolutely.
after I answer your question about the flesh and the spirit. I'm
Mhm.
sharing my screen real quick. All right, so Galatians 5:17, it says, well, let me start at 16. It says, "This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh." Right?
Okay.
For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. These are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. Right? So again, this is connected to behavior. It's connected to, the things that you're dealing with in your day-to-day life. Galatians 5:18, but if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these. So now it's finna go into what? Behavior. You see?
Well,
Adultery,
let-
fornication, uncleanliness, lasciviousness. Verse 20, idolatry. These are things that you do. Witchcraft, hatred, variance, immolation, wrath, strife, sedition, heresy. Verse 21, envying, murdering, drunkenness, reveling, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in times past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God. So now we want to know, what is the operation of the spirit? Galatians 5:22, but the fruits of the spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith. Verse 23, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. So the flesh and the spirit is connected to behavior. And
let me interject. The spirit isn't connected to behavior because the spirit is sinless. The flesh is where the behavior part comes in. Do you understand where I'm coming from there?
no, because it just gave you the line of behavior for the spirit. That means the way you're operating as a human being on planet Earth. If you're operating in the sense of these particular behaviors, right? We know that the word spirit has other it is being used in other sense, but when it comes to this particular thing, whether or not a person is operating in the spirit or they're operating in the flesh, these things can be identified,
Right.
and they're categorized as flesh and spirit.
Right. You see why you just said what you just said? It's it's a state of mind. It's a mindset. So if we set our mind to do what is right, then we're operating in the ways of the spirit. If we do not set our mind to do what is right, then we're operating on what is the lower nature of ourselves, which is our flesh. That's why the statement says mind over matter, not matter over mind. But in this world, in this day, the matter through lust, through lasciviousness, through coveting, through lying, through stealing, through all types of evil things, that is not the appetite of the spirit. That is the appetite of the flesh.
Yeah, but those are behaviors, correct?
Right. But that's what I'm trying to say. They separate from one another. We can't. That's why I always try to, when I have conversations with people, I always ask them, if a body, the fleshly body dies, what happens? The spirit leaves it. Just like right before the child comes into birth, the spirit comes into it. So they're two separate entities. The flesh is
It's again, the word spirit, right, has other things attached to it in
Right.
regards to, its other functions, right?
Right.
But we're
I
talking
get.
about the function of behavior. That's what
Let me
Galatians is talking about. Go ahead, brother.
let me ask you this question: do you think there's an evil spirit?
Do I think there's an evil spirit?
Evil, because if it's not a right or wrong answer to a degree. And what I mean by that is because there is a spirit that was placed on earth for a certain amount of time to do destruction. But in actuality, there's only one true spirit.
Let me answer it like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is something that me and Pro Rizzo we talk about a lot, right?
Okay.
This spirit, because if you go into Romans 7, Paul deals with this, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you have certain influences that come upon you. You have influences that come from within, meaning if I'm see a beautiful woman, I have a desire from within to try to make myself familiar with this woman, right?
Right.
Then you have external influences, such as things you might see on television or in social media or in in entertainment, and thus for those are external. These are external forces being placed on you to cause your mind to go in a direction that wasn't even on your mind. So that's an
But
external influence that could be identified as an evil spirit.
got you.
You understand?
So I'm with you. That's a beautiful point. I like the way you said it. But it's your flesh that goes after it. It's not your
Right,
spirit. It's your
right,
flesh.
right,
So
right.
that's kind of like what I'm trying to get across right now. Is like the spirit doesn't want nor need flesh. It's just something that has been given to us as a gift because we are the glory of the spirit. But we have to get to the mindset where we have to remove ourselves from the fleshly mentality. For the last 6,000 years, we've been a fallen people to sin. Sin is all the attributes that the negative side of the flesh works after. I don't care what it is. Hunger, greed. I think the two greatest appetites that we have as humans is sex and food. Now, I'm not saying all people, but that, especially growing up. Now, as you get older, it may deplete for some people, but those are very great desires. And we don't know how to manage either one of them, especially as a child. So we get older and then we start to be a little more wiser, or we get worse. So there's a, can you put up John 8:7? I wanted to show you something here. And this is what we're after as a people. And I'm trying to get people to see this. And this is Jesus or Yeshua speaking, whichever way you say it. No, and I'll just read it from my phone. It says, so when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and he said unto them, he that is without sin among you, let him first cast the stone at her. What does he mean when he's saying you who is without sin? That is a very powerful statement because that is the spirit. That is the creator that is without sin. It tells you all flesh has sinned and fallen short. So this is why I say we can't put the flesh on the same level as the spirit. We must learn to start trying to figure out how to identify that they're separate. See, what we don't understand, not a lot of people don't understand that that spirit that's in you and in everyone, it's taken a recorded deed. That's why it talks about in the day of Armageddon, when we have to go up to the Creator, and the Creator says, either the Creator is going to agree and bring you through, or the Creator say the famous words, depart from me, you workers of iniquity, I know you not. See, it's already in us, but we don't know that. I mean, we understand it, but we don't take it as actuality. Like, we don't think the Creator's watching us. It's not that the Creator's watching us. The Creator's right with you the whole time. We can't get away. Even if we tried to, we couldn't. And when we begin to realize this, we become more conscious. See, we think if we're in a room doing something by ourselves, we get in the way. Because in actuality, people are like, well, the Creator got all kinds of stuff the Creator's doing. The Creator's not looking down on myself right now. No, the Creator is like a chip that's already been implanted in you. The Creator's already in us.
Well, let me ask you this concerning that, right?
Yes, sir.
Where what is the source or where you're drawing this from? Do you have any historical writings that you're drawing this from? And if one of those sources is the Bible, why are you using the biblical text that was generated from the children of Jacob?
Well, in actuality, the Bible was generated from them. They became the manifestation of the book after Israel came, or Jacob came into play. Before Jacob, there was Abraham, Isaac. So they came along a little later. Then they routed it through them. Now, again, these prophets were sent to the entire world. Everybody who was looking for spiritual conquest, or, trying to make it to that higher knowledge of self, reads the Quran, reads the Bible, reads these books of edification, of some type of knowledge and wisdom. The problem is that there's lies and truths mixed in these books. So this is why in John, I think it's John 1:2 or John 1:1, and it says, and the word was made flesh. Okay, so in the new beginning of the new Genesis, we become those books.
But when you say we, who are you referring to?
The people that the Creator and that comes to know the truth. You will be down. It's like, this is like they say, the AI information. It's already implanted in us. There's not going to be books. These books are going away. As a matter of fact, if you go into Revelations, it said that the Lamb had a book that nobody opened. He had a whole nother book. So when I talk to people that have the Quran and people that have the Bible, it's a book that comes after those books. That's greater than those books. But it's at a future time. And that's
I won't deny that. I'm going to tell you that one of the major problems in the so-called Black community is that we have an identity crisis.
Perfectly said.
And it has spawned and created so much confusion and debate that, which I believe the debate aspect of it is good and healthy if it's done correctly. And because these things have to be challenged, and we have to be able to remove certain levels of philosophy when concerning things that are actually tangible that are being spoken of in the biblical text, such as historical events, such as certain locations, right? Such as certain interactions with the people that are responsible for the development of the book. Because in the book, it's speaking, right, of the children of Jacob, which are the children of Israel, and it's about the rise and fall and rising again of these same people. And I really need brothers and sisters to understand that, because once you start transitioning into the Gospels, what a lot of our new covenant brothers and new Testament brothers have done is now minimize the importance of those people and not allowing them to reach the end part of rising again.
Well, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question, because when is the last time the children of Israel had a prophet?
2,000 years ago with
Right.
with Hamashiach Yahushua, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ.
Correct. Now, why is it all the way up until then you had prophets? Do you understand that when he came, he was the last prophet to be sent to Israel? That's why he says that he is only sent to the house, the lost sheep in the house of Israel, because he was trying to get them to turn back from their ways. So now you have 2,000 years later. Why would the chosen, who you deem yourselves, and the Bible calls you the chosen seed, why would the Creator or Yahweh, why would he leave and not send any more prophets when you guys have in the Old Testament prophet after prophet after prophet, major and minor?
That's your question?
Yes. Why would it stop there? Because you're saying they're to return, and what I see is that was the end of your route. Because Jesus never had any more children. He doesn't have a seed to one, prolong his legacy and keep coming through. Two, you in your conversation, for most Israelites and most Christians, they believe that God was his father. So in Abraham, it says through the seed of Abraham. Now, I do hear when people try to put that seed on Mary, but the seed has never been passed through the female. Only she has been the one to produce the seed, and the seed, when it was spoken to Abraham, that was to travel, was sperm. Females don't produce sperm. So that at that point, there's an issue there. And this is the kind of stuff that I've been wanting to, build with brothers that want to be honest with the actual facts. Now, do we both agree that a female can't produce a seed as far as sperm?
Well, you have two brothers here, such as myself and Joshua, who see that differently. He sees it one way and I see it another.
Okay.
The word seed, right? It also means descendancy.
I'm with you on that. Let me ask you a question. How do you become a descendant?
How do you become a descendant?
Right. You need the seed of the man.
The seed of your father, right?
Right. So I agree. It means a descendant also, but we can't take the descendant before the seed, because you need the seed before you can be a descendant. So the seed is what that was talking about. It said, know the sure that thy seed will be in the land out of its own. That's why the first thing he said was, I don't have a child. So he needed some place to put that seed.
No, I understand that, and
Right.
again, that is a large discussion that is going on in the Israelite community. But at the end of the day, if if let's say what you're saying is the case, well, you have brothers like Joshua and others that will totally agree with that. But now you go back into a window because Christ is legitimized through Joseph. So now let's get back to the actual point in regards to the importance of the rise of the children of Israel, right? So if you're trying to, and I'm not saying this is what you're doing, but I'm saying if anyone is trying to eliminate Christ based upon the virgin birth understanding, because we as Hebrew Israelites, we don't deal with immaculate conception because immaculate conception is not in the Bible, and it is also attached to woman worship. So we don't deal with that. Those that believe that the Messiah was born of a virgin, as the biblical text says. Okay. So if someone is arguing against that, that can be a discussion that can be had. But if you have someone like yourself, Joshua is here, who would say, okay, well, he's legitimized through Joseph.
Now, when you say legitimized, are you saying from a legality standpoint?
Yes, Joseph is his father.
Now, when I say legality, I'm talking stepfather, or are you talking physically?
You have those that say that he's the physical father.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna back him up on that. I believe that he's the physical.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to verify, because he said, you know, that's not legality, that is natural.
Right.
So when you said legality, I thought you were coming from the frame of he adopted him type deal.
No. I'm saying that there's doctrines that are out there, and brothers stand on them, that says that Joseph is the father, and they can prove it.
Okay.
But you have others that like myself, who operate with the virgin birth, and again, that's two sides of a coin in a discussion that could be had separate from what we're speaking on. And what I want to magnify is the actual importance of the children of Jacob, the children of Israel, and their rise in these last days, and how the Bible is depicting them in these last days. Because you have people, let me just say that and I give it right back. Because you have people that now want to disregard the children of Israel, cast them off, and say now it's all about the world. It's anybody that can come in, anybody that believes. Now the children of Israel do not have their full opportunity to rise, as the Bible said that they would rise again.
Well, when you say rise, are you saying rise into a forefront, or rise to what aspect?
Back to their rightful position, as stated in Deuteronomy chapter 28, 1 through 15.
And does that say that that's going to happen in Revelations, or it just says, because from what I saw from Deuteronomy to the end of the Old Testament, they were rising and falling all throughout there. So why do you think that rise means at the very end?
Because the children of Israel are prophesied to reclaim their position that they had from the beginning. There's a multitude of verses that I can go to that would substantiate these people being placed back into the rightful positioning because of their awakening.
Well, you just made a statement, and you said from the beginning. The children of Israel was not there in the beginning.
I'm not talking about that beginning. I'm talking about their beginning.
Okay, so when you say their rightful state from that beginning, what happened in that beginning that was to be so magnified in this day?
The children of Israel were descended from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And that seed line, that sperma, that descendancy, right, was promised something.
Well,
and they didn't reach that fulfillment until they came out of Egypt and was given the land that was promised to them, that was promised to their forefather Abraham.
let me ask you this, because you just made a bold statement, and I want to touch on that.
A bold one? I made a bold statement?
That was bold. So here's what I'm going to say. Abraham absolutely was promised. Isaac absolutely was promised. After that, it says the seed after Isaac. That's what it says. It doesn't say anything. It didn't say the seed after the seed after. It said the seed after Isaac. So we all know there's no way around this, that the child that was born after Isaac is exactly and in fact Esau. You can't change that. You can't do anything about that. The situation arises that now you have a female by the name of Rebecca, who is the mother of Esau and Isaac. I'm sorry, Esau and Jacob. Now, she is not in the direct line of Abraham, although she is related to Abraham. But when the promise was given to Abraham, and then that promise and a covenant was given to Abraham and Sarah, the only one that was to be the fulfiller of that is Isaac. But somehow, some way, all of a sudden, here comes Rebecca, clear out of the blue sky. Clear out of the blue sky.
Man, you gonna leave my mama Rebecca alone, bro.
Hey, listen. All I'm saying is.
Hey, listen. That's Esau's mother too. Understand that?
I didn't say nothing about her as being the mother. I said that. Here's my point. Here's my point. And this is where the faculty of reason and rationality needs to come into play. You know, this isn't like you spoke about psychologically or things. This has nothing to do with psychology or theology. Philosophy. Has any of the ologies, philosophies, all of them. It has nothing to do with this. This has to do with actual fact. How is it? And when you say that our people are turned around, this is the first thing that myself has seen that has turned people. Like, show me where the Creator told Abraham and Sarah that somebody else was going to be delivering their message, their covenant. It would only be Isaac. And Isaac went and talked to the Creator and entreated the Creator because he wanted her to be pregnant. But it was ironic that right before she left her brother Laban, they told her that her seed, that she's a female, she doesn't even have a seed, but I'll take it on the aspect of her children, was going to be, people were going to be against it, or it was going to have people call them haters if you want. So I'm saying, how does he know this?
All right, so listen. Here's the thing, right? Let's say everything you're saying is true about Rebecca and Jacob. Let's just go with that, right? Everything you're saying is 100% correct. Here's the problem. Once you start to go into the actual children of Jacob, the life of Jacob, the life of Jacob's children, the life of Jacob's descendants in Egypt as they started to flourish. Everything that you're saying about Jacob is countered by the wondrous acts that were done on behalf of the children of Jacob that you say are not the rightful chosen people.
Well, no.
So now, let me just finish this. I'm gonna give it right back to you.
Yeah, okay.
So now once you start to say, okay, so then where is the 400-year prophecy that was given to Abraham about his descendants through the seed of Esau? Where is the captivity that the Edomites were delivered from with a great, grandioso, never seen in history being done in an act of deliverance for the Edomites? Where is that? Where is the 400-year prophecy? Where is the prophets that are coming out of Esau to write historical events, to proclaim them, and then they actually take place? See, these are the things that are actually happening with the children of Jacob, who you say are not the rightful ones.
Well, let me say, yes, sir, bro. Let me say this to you. First of all, you and I both agreed that prophet line stopped 2,000 years ago. So you're talking about something technically that could almost be considered dead, if not for the belief of those who were called Israelites or Hebrew Israelites. And now you have Christians who have joined forces with a lot of your ideology. So not to the full extent, because in your case, you guys look at yourselves as chosen, whereas these guys are Gentiles, and I forget it's another name that they call them. But they're not the chosen. Now, remember, Abraham was promised, told he was going to promise seed. Never said chosen seed that I can recollect. It's a promise seed. So that's two different things right there. One is promise, one is chosen. That's similar to elect and select. See, the Creator doesn't elect. So when you became the chosen seed, you were elected. Now, the promised seed is selected. Two different things. When they're chosen like that, there's a group that makes that decision. When it's the selected promised seed, that's just divine intervention by the Creator. Now, as far as you saying, where are these people that come through through Esau, you have to understand, brother, that there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. So there's going to be a whole new makeup. The Israelites never, ever, and you tell me if I'm wrong, show me when given a covenant, where did the Israelites complete the covenant? Because a covenant is a legal binding agreement between two people or two groups. And when they came along and the Creator said, okay, or whomever said that they're going to be chosen, and they have their staking claim on this covenant that was given to Abraham and Sarah, then show me where you guys fulfilled the covenant. What did y'all do to fulfill the covenant? Because you've killed, and I'm not coming at you, but every prophet, for the most part, y'all have killed. So how are you fulfilling the covenant if you're killing the one to put you back on the right track? Mainly Yeshua or Jesus, whatever name you want. He's the one that came telling them.
Right. And all those points are right and exact. Here's the problem. Where's the Edomites' Messiah? Where is the story of the prophets of Esau? Where is the story in the literature that we can look at to see another people that had the events that the children of Jacob, who you say is not the chosen, where is the Bible?
I never said they weren't chosen.
Okay, so you agree they're chosen. You agree that they're chosen?
Yes, I did. I never said they weren't chosen.
Well, that's what you said when you're talking about Esau and what Rebecca did. I mean, what Jacob and Rebecca did. You have a problem with that, right?
Oh no. Well, let me ask you a question. Morally, let's talk high-minded right now. Let's talk character. Let's talk. I don't know if you have children. I have children. So let's talk as parents. Now, would you lie to your child? Or let me say it this way. Would you want your significant other to tell your child to tell you a lie, and then she lied to that child, and it does something against your other child? Do you see that as morally correct? As if you're saying God is love, then where was the love in that?
Right. All right. So listen, I've already stated to you, right? Let us say that what you're saying morally about what Rebecca and Jacob did was 1,000% wrong.
Do you think it was? Do you think it was morally incorrect? I'm not going to use the word.
No. I think me personally, I think it was prophecy being fulfilled. Okay. So now,
can I ask you this before you go next? So you condone stealing and lying?
I condone whatever the Most High condone. I'm in complete agreement with the Most High.
I agree with you on that. Let me ask you this question. Can you show me anywhere where the Most High told her to lie and told her to steal?
No, that's not in the text.
Exactly. So when you say that the Most High condoned it, even if you got to understand this, even if it happens, that doesn't mean it was condoned. You and I both know we done some ratchet stuff in our lives and got away with it, but later on, karma comes back around and gets us. So
let me ask you a question about karma coming back around. Let's say I lied to you.
Correct.
Right? Let's say I steal from you.
Right?
What, in your mind, what type of sentence is sufficient enough that I can serve to recompense you of me lying to you and stealing from you? What type of sentence in your mind, or how many years in prison would I have to serve in order to satisfy me lying to you and stealing from you?
Sure, I got you there. Here's what I would say to that. It depends on the level of the lie, but even
just throw me a number out there real quick.
Here's what I'm trying to say. Even to go deeper, we're talking about a foundation. So if you're trying to steal something from me for the eternity, in other words, if you're taking something that never belonged to you, and then later on try to justify by saying, well, I stole it, but you never got it back, but I served 7 years for it, you still have never made me whole.
No, hold up, brother.
You understand what I'm saying?
Brother, listen.
I'm asking you a question. Do you understand my point?
Jacob, if you have a problem with what Jacob did, as if the Most High did not punish Jacob, Jacob served 22 years in servitude under Laban, bro.
What does that have to do with Esau, though? You understand what I'm saying?
No. This is between what the Most High ordained for Jacob, right? He ordained for Jacob. So Jacob, if you're saying something morally that he did something immoral, then he served a 22-year sentence of servitude, brother.
Okay, let me say this to you. Laban, now he got betwixt much like he did Esau. So yeah, he found out later on, he got a different punishment. But again, when he left Laban chased him down.
Right.
And then they made amends.
Right.
He goes his way. Then he prays, and spirit comes to him, or God or creator, or however I'm a little iffy on that whole situation, or angel. I'll just use angel for this point. An angel comes to him, and he changes the name to Israel. Now,
was that angel from the Most High God?
Well, see, what I'm going to say is a spirit or an angel can come as an angel of good or an angel of deceit. So let's see the actions of what happens. That's how you quantify what it was. You don't quantify it just by saying
that is excellent, right? That's excellent.
Right. So let's see what happens after that.
Let's see what happens. Come on, talk to me, man.
After that, let me tell you the very first thing he says. He said that he looked upon the face of God and lived. Now, if you go into, I don't know the scripture right off bat, it's in Deuteronomy. It says, the Creator says, no man can look upon my face and live. Now, he didn't say he looked at an angel.
Right.
He specifically said in this text that he looked upon the face of God. Then he quantified it by saying, and he lived. Now, somebody's lying here. Either Jacob's lying. Listen what I'm saying to you. Somebody's lying. Either Jacob's lying or the Creator's lying. Because the Creator said, no man can see my face and live. I can pull up.
Let me ask you a question.
No, don't ask me a question. I want to know what you think about that statement.
I'm about to answer you right now. I'm about to answer you right now.
Oh, you asking me the question?
Yeah. I'm about to answer you right now.
Yes, sir.
What does the word God mean?
Power and force.
Right. Are angels also Elohims?
I think they're a lower nature.
Now, I'm not talking about comparing an angel to the Most
as far as the God, yeah, they're gods, of course.
Okay.
In that manner, but he didn't. Listen.
Hold up, brother. See, you jumping the gun because you already know.
No. I know what you make. Let you go. I'll let you go. No problem.
Let me make the statement. You can refute anything, right?
I have no problem with it. Yes, sir.
So if we go into the blue letter right now, if I ask Joshua to pull up the blue letter right now, and we're looking at Jacob wrestling with an angel, the Bible told you and I that it was an angel. That's what the Bible said. So now if Jacob turns and says, I have seen the face of God, right?
No, that's after.
I understand. It's after he wrestled with an angel, correct?
After he wrestled with the angel, yes.
So he wrestled with an angel, and after that he says, I have seen the face of Elohim, or a Elohim in the ancient, right?
Okay, now let me answer this question so we don't get confused. I just want to ask you a question real quick so we don't get this confused.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to make sure. So I want to make sure you're saying what I think you're trying to say. Are you saying Elohim is an angel?
Yes, I'm saying that angels are also called Elohim.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Is Yahweh and Elohim the same?
Yahweh comes from the tetragrammaton, which is Yahweh is a mispronunciation, but I'm with you. Okay. Yahweh is the actual name of the Father, which in my community, we say Yahweh.
Okay. Let me ask you
Yahweh and Elohim, the Most High could be an Elohim. The Son could be an Elohim. The angels can be Elohims. So the word God is equated to Elohim and not necessarily Yahweh or Yahweh. You understand?
Yeah, I do. Let me just jump here. We can go back to where you're at. This is exactly why, all praises due to I. This is exactly what I meant by this battle was for a namesake. You see all these different names you got going on right now?
I've only used one name this entire time.
You got God, you got angel. They're not names, they're titles. I agree with that part.
Right.
Okay. Now, when I ask you to quantify who God is, God can be Elohim, God can be Yahweh also, right?
Yes, because the word Elohim simply means power, judge, ruler, right? I'm an Elohim to my wife and my family, my children. I'm their Elohim.
So Elohim is not a name. Elohim is synonymous to God.
Yes. God.
So you're saying Elohim just means God. Now,
I can take you right now. To Psalms. I can take you to Psalms 82 and 5. And it literally says, Ye are gods.
Yeah.
Talking about the children of Israel, it says, ye are gods, ye are Elohims, but ye will die like men. So the Bible even calls us gods.
Listen, I'm well aware of it. Now, here's what I'm gonna say to you.
Now, do you think the Bible is saying that we're the Most High?
No, I think the Bible. I think when I hear God, again, power and force, positive and negative. So what again is the purpose, or what is the attribute that follows after that? So this is why I'm getting to this point, so we can make this clear. Because why would he quantify in his statement and be explicit in saying, and saw the face and prevailed? Why? I mean, it's and then for you to, I didn't want you to try to move the goalpost. First, you said it starts about an angel. So if it started with an angel, that sentence should have ended with an angel, but it didn't.
Brother, that's your opinion. I just proved to you that even men on earth are called Elohim.
Listen, brother, I'm with you on Jesus even said it.
So if now you say Elohim,
but
if you say Elohim,
let me ask you this question, brother. Why would a man say he saw a man's face and lived? What does that matter? I mean, we see men's face all day. Why is this? This is what
he wasn't talking about a man, brother. He was talking about an angel.
No, but he. So can you show me? Let me ask this question. Can you show me in the Bible where it does another statement like that and says they saw the face of an angel and lived? Can you show me anywhere in the Bible?
Yeah, Exodus chapter 3.
It says an angel and lived?
No, listen.
Right, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
You're asking me to equate something else in the Bible where they refer to an angel as God, right?
Well, aren't angels beneath God?
Brother, God is a title, and it's not a name of the Heavenly Father. That's not his name. So that means that an angel could be called God, a judge, a ruler could be called God, and you, my brother, in your household are a God.
No, sir. But I get what you're trying to say.
No. The Bible said.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Now, here's my point. This is the point, and we can move off from this because I think we stuck here. Here's my point. I'm just going by what the text said, and for him to say it explicitly. So here's what it says in Genesis 32:30. So Jacob called this place Peniel, saying, it is because I saw God. Okay, capital G, because I hear it's Genesis 32:30. It says, I saw God face to face, and yet my life was spared. Why would he?
32:30.
Right, 32:30. Right. Why would he say his life was spared?
Brother, I'm just
getting. And then because yes, sir. And then we'll go to the other verse, because if he's saying that he saw God face to face and his life was spared, or he did not die, but then you go to Exodus, I believe, or Deuteronomy, and it says that no man can see my face and live.
I want you to see something here, okay? We are in Genesis 32 and 30. This is the word God. Over here, it is H430. What does that mean? Elohim. Right? You understand this? Right. Now, when we go into, I'm going to show you something. Exodus 3. Right? I'm going to show you the tetragrammaton being used instead of the word Elohim. This is 3 and 15. Right? The God of your fathers. Look at this. This will let you know it's not talking about just some regular Elohim or some regular power. They're actually invoking the unspeakable name, right?
What name is that? What name is that unspeakable name?
Look, I'm showing you on the screen.
This so says, is it Lord? Is that what you're trying to do?
I'm showing you here.
Right, but I don't read Hebrew, so I don't know. So is it Jehovah?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What you're saying.
Which is Yahweh, which
Okay.
is Yahweh, which is the Tetragrammaton, the unspeakable name. If I go here now, it's going to tell you it's the unspeakable name. Okay.
Now, so you're saying Jehovah is not to be said?
No, I'm not saying that, brother.
When you said unspeakable name, I'm trying to understand what you mean.
Let me show you. Let me show you.
What when you say unspeakable, because if you're saying it's unspeakable, I'm gonna show you. It means don't say it. But I don't want to move away from where we're at. But go ahead.
This says Jehovah.
And by the way,
the existing one, the proper name of the one true God.
Okay. So you can't identify who this is. You can't make that an angel. You can try to listen to what I'm saying to you. Hold on. Look at what it says. It says the proper name of the one true God, but it says God. Okay. So now let's go beyond that. And that's why I said he made an explicit statement saying, I saw the face of God and lived. And then if you go to Exodus 33:20, it says, but he said, you cannot see my face, for no one may see me and live. So what I'm trying to tell you is these are in correlation.
No, it's not.
Bruh. Okay, that I'll go with this for you on that. That can be a matter of interpretation. Okay.
Negative, brother. Listen to me very carefully.
Let me ask you this question. How can that be negative when he explicitly says he saw the face of God? He doesn't say which God. Okay, we can go with that. I don't have a problem with that. But then when you go to Exodus 33:20, then it says that no man can see my face and live. So if you got a man over here saying that he saw the face of God, and then you have who was called God over here, and he says no man can see my face and live, that sounds like a direct shot, however you want to look at it,
brother. No, listen, let me please would you let me respond, brother?
Respect. Yes, sir.
All right, here's the problem, brother. Number one, I showed you that Elohim, let's look at this, man. Look. Here's Elohim, right? Hold up. All right, here we go. Elohim, right here. H430. The name of the Most High, the Lord God, Yahweh or Jehovah or Yahweh, power. Let's look at Elohim. What does Elohim mean? I saw the face of Elohim and lived. What does that mean? Elohim. Hold up. Look. God.
Right.
God.
Okay.
Judge.
Okay.
God.
Okay.
God is great, mighty, angel. Do you see this, brother?
Okay. Listen, let me say this to you. That was about what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 down. In a dictionary, let me explain something to you. In a dictionary, the first definition is the strongest out of them. Okay, so they make that the strongest point. You had to travel 9 down to find angel. Now, all the other ones talking about the judge, it used God 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. It even used great and mighty even before it used angel. So all I'm saying to you is, my brother, and like I said, I appreciate, this dialogue. I think it's a beautiful dialogue, and I definitely love your demeanor, and I respect it. All I'm saying to you is I don't get why. I mean, I understand why. I just don't get why. That.
All right, look. Check this out.
Let me get this piece out real quick, and I'm gonna run right back to you. What I can't comprehend, and why I can't see you comprehending it, that you can't see that he's saying he saw the face of God and lived, and you can't correlate it with the creator saying no man can see my face and live. And I understand, to a degree, because then it puts Jacob in a different light. And all I'm saying to you, brother, is we have to use our minds and we have to use our senses to make sense of this, or we will become the senseless. And we will just be chasing something just because of words, because not just God has power, it means power and force, but words have power. And if we don't start to use our faculties of reasoning, then we're going to be in a serious situation as a whole people. That's all I was trying to say. I digress. Thank you.
All right. So as you can see here, this is the outline of biblical usage. Right? Plural. Rulers, judges, divine ones, angels.
Do you see you see at the very top? It used the word plural.
Yeah.
It didn't say I saw God's face. It said I saw God.
The word Elohim is plural, brother. Look.
How is God plural unless you attach it to something to deal with plural? Like
look on the screen for a second, brother. Just calm yourself and look on the screen.
Good, I'm good.
I don't know, but this look.
Yeah.
This is Elohim, right? Mm-hmm. Elohim. The root word etymology. What does this say here?
You got it covered, so I couldn't tell you what it said.
I got it covered.
It's covered on this thing. You got something. There you go. Now you got it moved up. Just says plural.
Exactly. This word, brother, this word, Elohim, is plural. So when you go back here and you see Elohim in the actual text, when you see the word Elohim here, H430, Elohim is plural.
Why would that? Now, I think it's in Corinthians. It says there's many gods and there's many lords. Okay. But that doesn't mean, and that is not in the context of this statement. He's not talking plural. He's talking individual. He's talking about a God, a specific one at that. Because, like I said again, he explains exactly what he achieved by looking in that. Because see, notice it doesn't say faces to faces. It says face to face. That means his face to another face. Ain't no plural in that.
Right. Joshua, man, what you want to speak on this, man?
You trying to throw me in the mix, man.
Well, yeah, like I said, I enjoy talking to both of you brothers.
Hey, I'm sitting back, I'm listening, man. I can throw some questions because there's quite a few questions, man. You got a lot of people watching.
Well, so, watching us, brother. It's us. This is an us thing.
It's not me, it's you, brother.
Now, let's say to you brothers real quick. This is how we have to start bridging these gaps. But, and earnestly saying this, I think we really, regardless of all that happened back there, regardless of everything that our ancestors told us and these organizations and religions, we got to start thinking for ourselves, because when it comes down to that day, you can't call Joshua can't call Jeremiah or whoever else is in your group. You can't call them. It's going to be a one-on-one situation.
Where you getting that idea from?
Which idea?
The one you're talking about right now. Where's that coming from?
Well, because religion turned into cliques.
No. I'm not talking about religion.
I'm talking
about the idea of Judgment Day that you just displayed. Where does that concept come from?
Well, of course, the Bible.
Okay.
But hold on. Slow down. Let me explain something to you. No
respect on my ancestors' name before I get done with you, brother. All right.
Listen, there is no disrespect, because, like I said earlier, what that person does is their legacy. It has nothing to do with myself. I have not said one thing, or if I have, correct me, where I've lied on anybody.
No, but I'm saying you were speaking from the heart, passionately, what you were saying, and I was asking you, where is that derived from? You said it's derived from the Bible.
Right, but that didn't come from Israelites, though. That came in the beginning of Genesis before they were even there. So how are you going to stake? Listen, I'm saying to you, how can you even attempt to stake claim to that?
Because it's coming from the text of my ancestors.
Well, hold on, brother. Let's get this clear. If we're talking, Abraham would be the patriarch of this, correct?
Absolutely.
Your ancestors' roots go deeper than Israel, correct?
Well, the thing is that let me show something. Let me show you something real quick.
Would that be correct?
Let me just share something with you, and I want you to look at this, and I want you to refute this if you can. The Bible and the New Testament in the book of Hebrews, they outline a particular lineage. And I want you to follow this lineage.
They outline that lineage up until when? When does that lineage
from Abraham up until them?
Up until when?
Up until the time of Christ.
Okay, and then what happens to that lineage after that?
What happens to the lineage after that?
Yes.
The lineage continues on until the return of Christ.
From who? They turn into, when you always ask me about Esau. Now, what happened to the lineage after Christ?
The lineage
I'm not going to call him Christ because I don't see him as the Christ. But what happened to the lineage? Because he was the last.
The children of Israel were prophesied to go into captivity, a final captivity. That the prophecies of the world to come from the time of Christ until his return, according to the biblical narrative, he began with these people and he's going to end with these people. Do you know what are the names that are written on the gates to the entrance into heaven?
Are you talking about the stones and the 144,000?
Nope. I'm talking about the names of the gates to the entrance into heaven.
No, educate me.
Okay.
Well, now hold on. Let me say this. That is per the Bible. That doesn't make it fact, because that is prophecy. So I'm gonna say to you, that's prophecy. Now, the only way a prophecy is true is it must happen.
You asked what happened to these people.
Okay.
And I'm saying to you,
okay,
that these people continue on until the return of Christ. So much so that the names of the gates that you have to walk through consist of their names.
Well, again, that is you're talking a belief right now, correct?
No, I'm not, brother. I'm talking what the Bible says.
Listen what I mean by that, and back me up if I'm wrong, or prove me wrong if you can.
Okay.
Has that gate happened? Have we seen those gates? Have we been able to verify they're on those gates? Or is this something that you personally and people that think like you believe?
No, it's not a belief. It's what the biblical text tells me.
Okay, that's what I'm saying to you, bro. So those gates have not been erected yet, have they?
No.
Okay, so therefore, again, what I'm explaining to you is that is a belief. That is not a fact. Listen what I'm saying to you, bro. Out of respect. Listen what I'm saying to you. That is not a fact. You believe it to be. The only way that we can say that what you're saying is true, because that is a prophecy from the Bible. Now, if it comes to pass, then I would agree with you. So that is your belief, and you have faith in that to be true. It doesn't make it true.
You already made a blasphemous statement by saying you don't see Christ as the Messiah.
Well, I can explain why.
No. I don't need you to explain why.
Well, you can't.
If you don't see him as the Messiah, do you see him as a prophet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
So
I would. Can I just say this real quick? I would say yes. I see him as a prophet. I think it's Daniel 7, 14, 13, somewhere around there, when it talks about the Son of Man, which you consider Yeshua or Jesus. Then it talks about one coming after the Son of Man. They call him the Ancient of Days. And one is to a people and another one is to the world, the universal world. So these are two different people.
That's nowhere in Daniel's, brother. What you just said is nowhere in Daniel's. No.
Right. Okay, let me go ahead. I'll pull it up while you're talking, brother, because let me just go through it.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was Christ who you said is a prophet, who's shown himself to be a prophet because he prophesied the destruction of Jerusalem 70 years after his death, burial, and resurrection. Not only did he prophesy that, he also prophesied that there will be a people that will come and say they are Jews and are not. Mm-hmm. He also prophesied that the gates of the kingdom of heaven will have names on them, and their names will not consist of the children of Esau. They're going to actually consist of the children of Jacob.
Notice how you use the word consist. That's a belief. You believe they're going to say that.
No, I'm taking the words of the prophet that you and I agreed that is a prophet.
Let me ask you a question. Did everything Jesus say came true?
No, everything has not happened.
Right. And if everything hasn't happened, and so are you saying that he made no mistakes in what he said or what he did?
Right.
Okay. So let me ask this, and then you can cue up Daniel 7. We can start at 12 or 13. But
let's start at 9.
Of Daniel 7?
Yeah.
It's just fine with me. Long as you go down.
We can read all the way to the 27th verse, brother.
Okay, so let's get this clear. You just said, just to recap, you said when I said that there's one coming after him, not like him. It's a different one. And I said in Daniel 7, one is coming to the universal, to everybody, and one was just sent to a specific people. And you said that wasn't true, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, and I called him, that would be the one who they consider who will come in the Ancient of Days, or some call him the Ancient of Day.
That's incorrect.
Okay. All right.
So, again, we established that there's a that the Messiah, Christ, is a prophet.
Well, Christ isn't a prophet. Christ is the Messiah. That's not a prophet. He's bigger than a prophet. He is what is considered a master prophet. He comes after all the prophets have come. And he is the last to verify of all prophets prior to him. So
okay, no problem. Okay. So can you tell me what race of people prophets come from?
What race of people?
Yeah.
You mean as far as black or ethnicity?
No. In biblical lineage, what
in the Bible,
according to the Bible,
sure,
prophets come from?
Yes, sir. In the Bible, from Noah, I want to say from Noah to Abraham, those were considered the Hebrew people. Then from Jacob to Yeshua or Jesus, those were considered the Israel people. So you have a group of people that probably had about 1500 to 1200 years that were being prophesied through. And then you have another group that came after that group for about 2500 years that they were being the prophets. Now,
So
you
hold
have
on, let me get
2,000
so
years after
Israelites are
him,
not
you haven't
Hebrews?
had any prophets. Excuse me?
The Israelites are not Hebrews?
No, the Israelites are not Hebrews. The Israelites, and correct me if I'm wrong, there is not one passage in the Bible that calls a Hebrew Israelite. Now, and this is why I say that. Now, Abraham, I'm just trying to, you asked me,
I gotta go ahead and cut that up real quick, bro. I gotta cut you, brother.
Let me answer it. So before
Go ahead, brother. I'm gonna get this scripture. I can cut the hell out of what you just said, brother.
Absolutely. Now, and I seen somebody try to show me Hebrew here and then Israelite later on. I'm talking about one word where they call them Hebrew Israelites.
Brother,
now,
that is ridiculous and absurd.
I'm just telling you what people have tried to show me before. All I'm saying,
I'm probably one of those who showed you.
No, okay? It wasn't you. I not no disrespect. It wasn't you. I seen it. It was another Israelite I was speaking to, but he tried to show me probably what you're going to try to show me.
Well, but did not Paul say he was the Hebrew of Hebrews?
Well, a Hebrew of Hebrew is not an Israelite of an Israelite, because here
isn't Paul an Israelite?
Paul, let me tell you one thing. Paul didn't know what he was, but yeah, he was Israelite. Then he was a Roman soldier. Then he went back. So he was doing all kinds of stuff. You got it. This guy was the Benedict Arnold of the Bible. He was with this side when it was up. He was with that side when it was up. So
that is extremely offensive to my ancestor, Paul.
Well,
hold on 1 second. Hold on. We got to take it one step at a time, brother. One step at a time. You said Paul did not know who he was. Let's go ahead.
I said Paul knew who he was. I just said Paul played both sides of the fence.
Okay.
Now, was not Paul? Let me ask a question. How do you think Paul? And hold on, we went too far too fast. Fast resort real quick, because I don't want to get past this Hebrew Israelite thing. I don't want to jump from that first, because we still got Daniel 7 to rock with. But either way, now Abraham was a Hebrew. Isaac was a Hebrew. Esau was a Hebrew. Jacob was a Hebrew. Now married Rebecca's nieces. He went the route of their family. He no longer took Abraham's side. There is a passage in the Bible where he erects an altar to Bethel, the god of Bethel. Now, tell me, why wouldn't he go back to Abraham? Why?
Wait. That's why I was trying to stop you, brother. Like, let's deal with this statement you made about Paul first.
Well, hold on. We was on the Hebrew stuff before we got to Paul.
I know I asked you, is there a connection? Is Israelites Hebrews? That's what I asked you.
And I said, by way of Jacob, they called themselves Hebrews. Okay, but that's
Jacob, why. Father.
Exactly. But Jacob turned into Israel. And turning into Israel, Jacob became a father of a people, of a nation.
No, brother. No, it's not. It's not true. Jacob did not turn into Israel. He became a father of people. He literally had children come through his loins, bro.
No. Let me ask you this question. Who was the father of Israel?
Isaac.
It's not Abraham. It's not Isaac. They didn't know anything about it. No, it's not. Come on, bro. Let's be honest.
Israel is a name. What are you talking about? Who's the father of Israel? Israel is a name that was given to Jacob.
Right. So when he became Israel, he became the father of the children of Israel.
No.
That is not what I hear you guys say is the God of Abraham, the God of Jacob. I'm sorry, the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob, who is Israel. What I'm trying to say to you is, if Abraham was the beginning of it all, you would be called Abrahamites, but you're not. You're called Israelites. So you're following after Jacob, who has changed his name to Israel, who is the patriarch of the Israelites. Isaac and Abraham knew nothing about Israel.
No, brother.
Prove it.
No, you're incorrect, brother. Let me
Can you prove? Can you prove?
Yes, let me respond, brother.
Now you're gonna prove later on down the line, or can you show me where Abraham and Isaac knew about? Because then let me ask you this question: How can Abraham be the father of his people, but not the father of Ishmael's and Esau's people?
Say that again, brother.
How can Abraham be the father of just the Israelites and not be the father of Esau's people and not be the father of Ishmael's people? And Isaac for Esau. How is that possible?
Because Ishmael and Esau did not decide to follow the God of their fathers. They followed another God.
Hold on.
Says the Most High God in the Bible.
That's a bold statement. Listen, hold up, bro. Are you sitting here trying to tell me, because Isaac loved Esau, okay? Isaac was the son of Abraham. So if Isaac loved Esau, then Esau's only job was to do what Isaac's job was to Abraham, was to please him. So it's obvious when Esau goes and takes a wife from Ishmael, because he had just found out that his father, which really came from Rebecca, who said she didn't want any more Canaanite daughter-in-laws. That was never told to Esau. So he even showed his discipline and love for his father by going and doing it on his own account to make his father happy. So how can you say that when all he wanted to do was to please his father? And obviously he's pleasing the creator of his father, because he knew how his father loved his father.
Hey, brother.
You understand what I'm saying?
Brother. Hold up, brother. Listen. So you just gonna disregard all the writings about Esau?
What do you mean disregard all the writings?
Because I can read to you right now a multitude of infractions that Esau's committed, and your response is going to be, you don't accept those things?
Well, hold on. If you're going to read those infractions, then how come you can't take the infraction that Jacob did blatantly?
What are you talking about? Jacob served 22 years for his infraction.
No.
Yeah, Jacob served time for his infraction, brother.
But hold on. The infraction.
He lied to his father. He went served 22 years in servitude and bondage behind it.
Okay, listen what I'm saying. He served that for a female. Okay, let's get this clear. It wasn't that he served it for that. He went after a wife and he was tricked into doing it. So he wasn't really.
Was he there longer than 7 years?
Huh?
Was he there under Laban longer than 7 years?
The first time, 7 years. Laban got him so drunk.
Was he there longer than 14?
Yeah, but what does that?
Was he there longer than 14?
14? No, after 14, he was out.
What scripture is that? Show me that in the Bible.
After he took his next wife, he left.
Show me that in the Bible.
It says once he took her. Now, I don't know. It don't tell exactly. Well, wait a minute. I'm sorry. It was 20 years. Forget
okay.
It. Hold on. But let's get this clear. He wasn't in servitude. He wasn't in servitude for the next 6 years. Let's get that clear. He lived there under his own will.
Do you remember the argument that he had with Laban?
Laban was cheating him. I understand.
Okay.
But hold on. Laban was cheating him. So listen what I'm trying to say to you, brother. The fact that you're trying to tie that in to say, well, he's forgiven for what he did, and you don't have anywhere in the Bible, since that's the book. Now, this is what gets deep when I speak to people. Now, all of a sudden, we're going to jump out of the Bible. That book's going to have to get set down.
When did I ever jump out of the Bible?
Well, here's my point. Show me in the Bible where Esau did something like Jacob did. Anywhere in the Bible.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Show me where Esau did a wrong anywhere in the Bible like Jacob did, lying, stealing. Show me where Esau did that.
Oh my God, brother. You want me to read the book of Obadiah?
Not. Oh, so now you're going to leave Genesis and go, what, 1,000 years later, 700 years later?
Are you serious, brother?
What I'm trying to say to you is,
hold on, brother.
Obadiah.
No, let me respond, brother. Let me respond. No, listen. Let me respond to you, brother.
You're killing me with this one. I got love for you, yeah.
So let me get this straight.
Yeah, let's.
You're gonna try to pigeonhole me into the book of Genesis as if the rest of the Bible is disqualified, but you have been quoting from the rest of the Bible this entire time we've been talking.
Well, it talks about Edomites, if I'm not mistaken.
What is the Edomite, Daron?
Hold on. Listen, let me say what I'm gonna say, because we were talking Esau, so I just wanted to clear that up. The Obadiah, that little one-page book.
That one-page bomb, right? Go ahead.
Well, no. Listen, if it was a bomb, let me share this with you. If it was a bomb, then it said that all of Esau's people would be wiped. Obviously, that's not true. There's people out here today that see themselves coming through the lineage of Esau. So,
bro, you all over the place, man. Come on. Listen,
I'm
trying to say. Listen, first of all, we were talking about.
So you were the Obadiah. I'm sorry.
Yes, you are. We were talking about Hebrew Israelites, right?
Right.
Then you made some outrageous claims against my brother Paul, right? So I said, okay, let me deal with the Paul stuff, because Paul tells you that he was an Israelite. Paul also tells you that he's the Hebrew of Hebrews.
Okay.
Right? When you go into the historical records, such as Josephus, such as Tacitus, such as certain historians of the Roman Empire, and they speak about these Hebrew people. When you go and you find research in antiquity dealing with the Egyptians, and you're looking at their writings, they're speaking about a Hebrew people. If we go into the book of Exodus right now, let me put it on the screen. Let me show you this, brother.
Yeah, right.
Hold on, brother. Let me rock for a second, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, thank you, sir. All right, I'm going to give it right back. Now, this is Exodus chapter 1, brother. Daron, can you read this for me, man? Because I'm not a very good reader, brother. So could you read this for me?
You know doggone well you can read. Stop. Not that bull crap. Go ahead and read it. Because I can't see that little writing on your screen. So
I'm struggling. Can you look in your book and follow along with me?
Man. Go ahead and read that. Go ahead and read that. You can read it. Because I'll read Daniel.
Okay, hold up.
What verse you need me to read, Jeremiah?
Let me get it real quick.
Tell me you can't read. He's full of it now.
All right.
That's that Jacob trickery right there.
Exodus, matter of fact, I want you to read Exodus chapter 1 and read verse 1, and then I want you to drop down to the 15th verse.
No, I'm gonna have to pull it up on my screen then.
You can't see it on my screen?
Let me get my Bible. Let me get my Bible. Keep it on the screen.
Okay. It's on the screen.
Yeah, you can see it. If you got it.
Exodus 1 to 15. Keep it on your screen. I got it. I'm reading it from
I just want the first verse and the 15th verse.
All right. Exodus chapter 1, verse 1. Now, these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob. And now you want the 15th.
Yeah, drop down to 10, then 15.
Verse 10 says, come on.
9 and 10. Salakia.
And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more mightier than we.
All right, so it says, verse 9, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Read.
Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
All right, read on. Just keep reading down to the 15th verse. Keep reading.
Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And
all right, hold up. Brother Daron, who is the them? It says, but the more they afflicted them. Who's the them, Daron?
That's us over here. I see this as a prophecy.
I'm not talking about no prophecy. I'm asking what's in the text.
Hold on. Listen. And in that particular text, what it's talking about at that time.
I'm not asking you that, brother.
Let me answer it.
I'm not asking you none of that. I'm asking you what's in the text.
I'm trying to answer it. Relax, calm down. I got you. In this particular text, it's talking about Pharaoh. It's talking about something that happened 4,200 years ago.
No, I'm not asking you none of that. I'm asking you, but the more they afflicted them, who is the them that they afflicted?
The Israelites.
Okay.
All right.
That's all I want.
I'm trying to figure out what your point. But I'm saying hold on.
I'm going to show you, brother. Let me finish, and then you can respond. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
All right. So, but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. No, can you hear me?
No, you kind of blanked out for a second.
I can hear you though.
It might be my end. It might be my end.
It might have been your end.
Read verse 12 again.
But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. Mm-hmm. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Shipra, and the name of the other Puah.
All right, stop.
All right.
So you wanted that part where it says the Hebrew women.
Yes.
Okay.
So can you tell me, Brother Daron, who are the Hebrew women?
Who are the Hebrew women?
Yeah.
They would be females that were from Hebrew, that they would have came through the people that were likened to Abraham, not necessarily family to him, but considered themselves Hebrews.
Brother, are you serious? We just read.
What other way?
Hold
up. Abraham, let's get this clear. Abraham was a Hebrew, correct?
Abraham was a Hebrew, yes.
Okay, so therefore, he wasn't the only Hebrew. There were other Hebrews there. So when he says, because they went in bondage in Egypt. So if you're talking a Hebrew, you're pretty much connecting the Egyptians and Hebrews together.
But I don't think that's what it's doing.
Well, that's my take on it. Now, if you see something differently, because you're asking me a question where when you're saying who are the Hebrew women, okay, and I'm saying to you, I see them as people that were likened to Abraham. Now, when they have children and they're having children by Israelites, then they're no longer considered to be Hebrew. They're Israelites. They overtake that. That's just like in this case. If you have a black child with a Caucasian person, okay, the dominant one is going to supersede the other one, and you're not going to be called black and white. They're going to say you're black. So the same thing, and this is why I said to you earlier, there's a valiant effort and good try, but this is why I said to you earlier, there's nothing in there that's
I like this guy, man.
Okay, I appreciate your effort.
All right,
but
check this out, Daron, right? Can I respond to you, brother?
I was going to go to 12.
Go ahead and finish if you need to finish, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, I forget what was the 12. What did the 12th verse say?
Get Exodus 2 and 11 though.
What was 12? What was 12?
12 said, but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
That's the one I wanted to touch up on. Now, what happened to the multiplication? There's I think, what is it, 13 million Israelites in this world today? When you got over 7 billion people here, 7.2 to be exact. So something's not right with that scripture.
All right. So let me ask you this, Daron. Can you hear me?
You keep asking me questions, but you got to touch on what I'm asking you. How do you use that word multiply? Like as if it's going to be this great number of people. And I think like I said, I think it's 12 to 13 million people that are considered Israelites when you got over 7.2 billion people on earth right now.
But
brother, let me respond to you, right?
All right, go ahead.
My bad. Go ahead, Joshua.
I was about to say, but we know Moses was an Israelite, right?
Yeah, Moses came through the lineage, and all I'm saying is he brought that verse out, and then it said with a great multitude. Okay, so what happened to that multitude that it has dwindled to close to what 2.2%?
Bro, you're moving the goalpost, brother. I need you to stay focused on the text.
Bruh, you did listen, bruh. We were on Hebrew. I'm on it with you. We were on Hebrew and Israelite. And I answered that question by saying when they married into the Israelite faith, just like if you're a Jew, if you're Jewish, you have to go over and leave whatever you believe and become under the Jewish faith.
You got the chat.
All right, thank you for that soliloquy, brother. Hey, Joshua, go ahead with your point here.
That's what Exodus 2, verse 11. And it came to pass in those days, when Moses was grown, and that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens, and he spied an Egyptian smiting an Hebrew, one of his brethren.
Okay.
So you said Moses was an Israelite, and one of his brothers is called a Hebrew. So that would mean those words are interchangeable. Those names are.
Well, yes, sir. No, they're not interchangeable. He was raised by the Egyptians first. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if he's raised by them and then he goes back to where his mother was from at that time, then he's going under the Israelite.
This brother slick.
He's trying to be slick. You try real hard to be slick.
Hold on. This was only supposed to be 3 people. Yeah. So I'm not entertaining everything else. We can dead it right now.
I didn't know.
We can dead it right now.
Yeah, I didn't do it, bro. Please don't blame me, bro. I didn't do it, brother.
That's why I said what I said earlier.
Hey, Pro Rizzo, you want to take my spot then?
No, not at all.
Yeah, I know. Hey, he don't want no smoke with me.
I don't want. Yeah,
he don't. I know he don't.
Listen, he's 100% right. I don't want nothing with you. He's 100% right.
I'm gonna drop off and make my comments in the YouTube chat.
So thank you, brother. Thank
you. We appreciate it, Pro Rizzo.
My bad. I didn't know it was just supposed to be 3 people.
He asked that. He did ask that up front. Yeah, Hezekiah, man, we gonna have to drop you off, Hez.
I know how I told Jeremiah I enjoyed, the respect.
It's all good.
Talking.
Yeah. No problem.
No disrespect.
I'm gonna just take mental notes, and then next time I see Daron on the panel, I'm gonna come at him with the questions.
Okay.
All praises.
Look, post the questions in the comment section.
Yeah, post them. We can talk that real quick too. Yes, sir. Respect.
Yeah, hey, but I want to say this before I get off. Please get to Daniel's 9, please, and read it for him, please.
Daniel 7 and 9.
7 and read down, please.
Yes, sir. We go definitely. I got that pulled up on my phone right now, brother. Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm sorry, man. You just got the chat jumping. You got the chat jumping.
We got the chat jumping, brother. We got it. But as I say, it's a nice dialogue. I appreciate it. We building and we growing. I hope to do this more with you, brothers.
So listen, check this out, Daron. Right? I want to make this extremely clear. Right? The biblical text in the book of Exodus is talking about who?
The Israelites. In that biblical text back then, that's the Israelites.
Okay. So then it begins with Jacob. Jacob and the 70 souls that came from his loins.
Mm-hmm.
And he had his 13 children plus their children. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we get to Pharaoh. Pharaoh says, hey, these Hebrew people are multiplying. So who is Pharaoh calling these Hebrew people?
Hold on. He said these Hebrew people. What verse was that?
Okay.
Run that by me again.
When he was talking to the midwives,
Okay.
right?
What verse are we talking?
Verse 15.
Okay, Exodus 15.
Yes, 1 and 15.
Exit 1 and 15. I'm sorry, brother. I totally missed that. Let me just pull it up real quick.
My point is this. In the 15th verse, he's talking to the midwives about dealing wisely with the Israelites, telling them to kill the man-child. He doesn't switch to another people descended from Abraham. And when the midwives respond to him and say, these Hebrew women are lively.
Let me ask you this question. Let me just make sure. You said Exodus 1:15?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see here. The king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives, whose names was Shappiah and Puah, when you are helping the Hebrew women during childbirth on the delivery stool, excuse me, this stuff's so small. If you see that the baby is a boy, kill him. But if it is a girl, let her live. The midwives, however, treated the god and did not do what the king of Egypt had told them to do. They let the boys live. The king of Egypt summoned the midwives and asked them, why have you done this? Why have you let these boys live? Okay, so you're saying, what you're trying to say is that this is Israel that they're referring to.
Yeah, that's absolutely Israel.
Okay.
Now, when we get into Exodus chapter 2, Moses is put into a bread basket, and that bread basket flows up the river.
Flows down the river to
what does the daughter of Pharaoh call the baby that's in the bread basket, which we know is Moses?
I believe she called Moses a Hebrew.
Okay.
I'll agree with that. I'm not disputing that. I won't, like I said, I get your point. I see where you're running at with this. Now, here's my point to that. When you look at let's do it this manner. Israel, the Jew, all of them don't see themselves as Hebrew.
Wait, what?
The Jews, especially the Caucasian Jews in the world.
We don't give a damn.
Well, hold on, bro.
Caucasian Jews.
Bro. Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point, please. Because they would be your brethren if they are claiming descendancy from Jacob.
No, they wouldn't.
How would they not?
Because the Bible tells us in Revelations 2:9 and 3:9
that they say they are Jews and they're not.
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Why are they claiming David? Why are they claiming so where are these people who are claiming all of this and living by the laws and keeping the Sabbath and doing the Shabbat and doing all that they do?
All right.
Why are you doing all of this? And you say they're not them one. Because if you take them out the equation, I don't know how many Hebrew Israelites is on the earth right now, because I'm quite sure they're a large number, that 13 million.
I'm going to read a source to you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a historical source. This is the book, The 13th Tribe by Arthur Koestler. Okay?
What's his last name?
Arthur Koestler. Koestler.
Might be a Jewish man, but go ahead.
Koestler. All right?
Mm-hmm.
It says this on the back of the book. You know, the back of the book tells you what the book is about, correct?
Yeah, it gives you a little pretext of it, yes.
Right?
Correct.
Okay. This book traces the history of the ancient Khazarian Empire, a major but almost forgotten power in Eastern Europe, which in the Dark Ages became converted to Judaism. The Khazarians was finally wiped out and forced out by Genghis Khan, right?
Okay, I'm aware of that.
And they migrated to Poland, which is called Western Jewry. Okay?
Okay.
So these Jews that's in Jerusalem today, claiming to be a descendant of King David, as you just stated, are actually from Poland under a British mandate in 1946 or 1948, a British mandate which allowed them to move into the land. And guess where they came from, Brother Daron? They came from Poland.
Okay.
These people are a converted people into Judaism. They are not the descendants of Jacob.
Okay, let me ask you this question, because in the prophecy or in the statement of Rebecca, she made a statement that the younger would serve the older. I mean, the older would serve the younger, correct?
But I need you to be scholastically honest, intellectually honest.
Listen, I'm definitely.
You made a statement. You said, "How could these people be claiming to be a descendant of Jews and be Jews and be a descendant of David and not?" I show. Hold up.
No. I'm gonna give it right back. I'm aware that there are some out there, but you can't say that's everybody. That's my point. I understand what the word says, that those that say they are Jews that are not, but they are the synagogue of Satan. I'm with you on that. I'm not disputing that. But you can't make everybody that practices that belief from the synagogue of Satan when these same people are just like Jacob.
Oh my God!
What are you talking about? They're liars. They're thieves.
Hold up, brother.
Hold on. Hold on. Was Satan not a liar? Was Satan not a thief? Was he not?
What are you talking about?
Was Satan not? Let me ask you a question.
Will you let me respond to? Let me
give you the last two. Was Satan not trying to supplant the Creator? Was Jacob's name not supplanter? A meaning supplanter? So I mean, when you're saying these people or this people, and what I was going at when you said that, that's why I brought up the simple fact that it said that the older would serve the younger. So now let's get to what's going on here today, because we know that didn't happen back then. The older didn't serve the younger back then in that manner. Now look at who are running all the entertainment. They got their hands in everything, the money. These are the Jews. Now, are they from the synagogue of Satan? I would say yes. I would believe these ones that have taken over and they've infiltrated it and made it that.
Hey, Daron, guess what their original descendancy is, Daron?
Oh, you're gonna say Esau. I already know. Hold on. Listen. Hold on.
I gotta get a bomb on that one. That was a bomb.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I wholeheartedly agree with that, brother.
Here's what I'm going to say to you about that. I wouldn't deny that when Esau married some of the Canaanites, that could have been part of that. But I also wouldn't deny that with Leah, Rachel, and the other two were all idol worshipers, and all of them, that we have a history on their treacherous ways. that couldn't be from there. Now, are you sitting here telling me that these people can only just be from Esau, or can they come from both camps?
Hold up. Let me do a
question.
Let me do a quick recap. So
hold on.
I can understand where we are.
I'm asking you a question. We see the likes of David. We see the likes of Solomon with 1,000 wives. We see all of these prophets, and all of them was wicked as all day for the most part, doing all kinds of treachery. But now, when it comes down to what we're talking about now, oh, they got to come from Esau. Come on. Now, like I said,
who said anything about that, bro?
I'm saying it because you wanted to drop the bomb on Esau. Why you can't drop the bomb on these wretched people that you have over there through Jacob? Because they ain't no damn angels.
Nobody's claiming that.
Okay, so are you saying that they can also be from the camp of Jacob? Yes or no?
No, they're not.
See, that would be a hypocritical statement. You know why I would say that? And that's what I mean. That's self-righteous.
Genetics and historical. Listen, brother, let me respond to you. Genetics.
No, they're not.
Genetics, DNA, chronography, historical merit does not line up with what you're saying, bro. But it lines up with what we're saying, and we can prove it.
Hold on. You're saying, well, how do you tell the fruit that the tree bears? By the root, correct?
I don't understand your question.
What is the root of Jacob versus the root of Esau from what was in the Bible?
In what manner are you using the word root, brother?
Root is the foundation of who they were, because the attributes and the ways that they're going to encompass is going to come from their forefathers. So the same thing that you see these Jews doing today, not all Jews, let's get it clear. I'm not talking about everybody, but the majority of them, they run everything around here, especially in America. And the ones over in Israel, you know, it's kind of weird because I'm watching people that are starting to go back over there, but then why would you? Because if that is your land, but when you get over there, you become a second-class citizen again. You go out from the pot into the fire. Over there, this isn't a return. That's why I was trying to get to the Exodus. There's two Exodus, brothers. That's why it's Deuteronomy 18, where Moses was a prophet, and then Moses was prophesied about another prophet coming to another people at a future time that they're going to be the Exodus. We're that Exodus over here.
Hey, Josh, hey, give me a second, man. I'm going to transmit devices. I mean, you can maybe go into a few questions real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
Okay,
I got you. All right, hold on. Let me see what the I told you, man. You got the chat jumping, brother.
They trying to crucify, but see, I'm in good company. They tried to crucify Jesus too, so I'm cool with it.
All right. Let me see what these brothers talking about. Let's see.
And I appreciate
it. Go right here. Sons of Jacob of OKC says, so Esau is the second Exodus.
Correct. Esau and Deuteronomy, I have it pulled up right here. And it says, let me see here. It says, I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. See, here's the thing. When Moses came, that was the Exodus for the Israelites. He took them out of bondage from the Egyptians. We all agree on that. What we can't agree on, and I would love anybody to show me where they were ever in captivity. Not that they were living in Egypt, because we know they lived there for like 400 some odd years, but they were not in captivity for 400 years. So how can you even think to say that that 400 years that is spoken about with Moses, that they will be in a land out of their own? First of all, Egypt was just like their land because they grew up amongst them. That's where Moses, Nahor, and all of them, they were all in that same area. So we are the only people that have been taken from our land and crossed the seas to a whole nother land where we knew nobody. They had family over there. We didn't have any family over here. So, and now we've just completed since 1619. It actually started in 1555, but the true clock didn't start to 1619 when they said that's when slavery started. But the wise ones know in 1555 on a ship called Jesus. First, they give you a ship called Jesus, then you give you the name Jesus. That's why, you know, this stuff is deep. But we came here in 1555, but they really didn't start running the clock until 1619. So from 1619 to 2019, that was our 400 years. So we're technically coming out of this. And look how quickly, once that 2019 happened, that plague hit us. This is the stuff that's prophesied in the Bible. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight because we've been in this situation for 6,000 years. So we're not all going to wake up all at the same time, but we're going to start seeing these things manifest. And it's doing it as we speak. Look at the government. We've never seen this type of civil unrest. Usually it's toward us. But when you see one portion of a Caucasian going against another portion of a Caucasian, the word tells you a house divided can't stand. We need to start getting ourselves together and we need to start uniting. But until we get the foundation of who the creator is, we're never going to be able to unite. We're never going to be able to unite. So it starts with us waking up and looking at all of these false gods and deities that have encompassed us. That's why when the brother was talking, he said, no, it wasn't God. It was an angel. It was Elohim, many gods. But it didn't say many gods. It never even used the plural. So, you know, personally, what I see is when people hear the word God, it's like the light switch, it just goes off and they get numb to the situation and they fall victim to a word. Don't talk about God. Don't talk. Wait a minute. How can you not talk about a word that's not even a name? It is a function. Power, either positive or negative. But you got to know which way it comes. That's why the word says, do you know which way the wind blows? You got to discern what we're talking about. What is the action after it talks about a God? What does this God do?
Okay. I got another question. Man, Sons of Jacob really want to talk to you, man.
Tell them I'm open. We can lock in something to have a discussion. I wouldn't have no problem. But go ahead. Let's just see if whoever else.
Luminous Mind Game says, ask him if Israelites are Semites.
If they're Semites, that I'm not sure of. If they're Semites, that's not something I've ever studied. The 12 tribes is basically what I know, and I don't know of them crossing over into Semites. But what I do know is that it's stated that some Israelites went into different camps, and they could be affiliated with different camps, and then they're supposed to all come back together as to what the brother was talking about. So, but if they're Semites, I've never seen it where they were actually considered Semites personally.
Okay.
You know?
Also, earlier what you said, are you saying that African Americans are Esau, or the children of Edom?
Well, I don't consider us African Americans, for the record, you know, because those are bodies of land. And what I really consider us is when we get our stuff together, we're human. You know, we're being divided by color, by land. And our whole goal is to be humanized, not animalistic. This has made us into animals, and we're working from a lower vibration. Now, what I am saying is the 400 years of servitude, yes, that is coming from that lineage of Esau. When Esau married, it's either Ishmael's granddaughter or Ishmael's daughter. And when they conceived a child, they spawned a whole nother lineage, which became the lost tribe. Because there's 13. We know Jacob's 12. So where's the 13th one got to come from? It has to come from Esau. That's what Deuteronomy 18:18 is talking about. So there's 2 exodus. Where that second exodus? You can't say Israelites get 2 exodus. Jacob received a blessing, and that blessing was fulfilled when Moses came. You don't get a second one. He freed the Israelites. So the Israelites, their chance was done with Moses. Now you
Daron, can I ask you a question, brother?
Yes, sir.
At the end of the so-called 400-year prophecy, what was supposed to happen?
That we were going to return to a good old ripe age. We will receive the land.
Who is we?
Us here in America. This is where it starts at first.
I'm saying, who are we here in America? Who are we?
What do you mean as far as between Esau and Jacob?
I'm asking you, who are we that is this prophecy is
right? We would be the 13th. That's what I just said a few minutes ago. Maybe you didn't hear me. We would be that 13th tribe.
Where's the book speaks about a 13th tribe at? Where is that?
And again, this is why I explained it to you in John 1 when it said the word became flesh. Now, there is a book, and we all know that there's a 13th tribe out there. They just don't know who it is. Okay. Or they don't want to tell you who it is, but they absolutely, in fact, told you who the 12 tribes of Jacob were. So if Jacob had 12 tribes and then Esau is his brother, then that's the other tribe, because there's no 13th tribe that you guys have over there.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, brother. Wait a minute. Listen, you understand that Esau had 13 sons. And in order to be a part of the tribes of Jacob, you have to be of the loins of Jacob.
No. This isn't making us of the tribe of Jacob. It's just a lost tribe. It doesn't make us, because remember, it's not about Jacob. This is what I tried to explain to you earlier, and you kept trying to say Abraham and Isaac. But now you keep pointing it to Jacob. I thought you told me that Abraham and Isaac was the foundation. So this isn't about the tribes of Jacob. This is talking about Abraham's seed. And you can't have it 2 ways, bro.
Okay. So you do acknowledge Jacob's children as part of the tribes.
Yeah, they were 12 tribes from that 12 of them.
Okay, so the Most High God, I started this whole conversation off with this, brother, and you just talked around it.
What?
I need you to understand and identify what I'm dealing with when it comes to the relationship that the Most High God has with the children of Jacob.
I explained to you earlier that I agree with you that they're chosen. I'm never going to deny that they are not a chosen seed. But what I also explained to you was in Revelations, I think it's 7 or 7:14, it only talks about 144,000 Israelites. It doesn't speak about any other Israelites. It says 144,000 Israelites will walk into the gates. Okay, so that's 12,000 per tribe.
Hey, that's absolutely incorrect. You're missing.
What's incorrect? Wait. What's incorrect?
That it's only 144,000 that's going to walk.
That are chosen.
Can you hear me?
It says it. Yeah, I hear you. It says it right here. Let's go there real quick. But we got to go to Daniel 7 because we totally neglected.
Out of that 144,000, what people do the 144,000 come from?
The Israelites. It's a seal. Listen, brother. It says Revelations 144,000 sealed after this I saw for the. It's talking about after. So what it means by you're sealed is no more, no less. It's 144,000 Israelites that's sealed. That is your selected. You're elected 144,000, and it's sealed from there. So you can't get any more in there.
What are they elected to do?
Huh?
What are they elected to do?
Well, let me say this to you. If you think, I want to share this with you. If you think, if you have the audacity to think that 144,000 people are going to be able to take over a people that's going to be numbered at maybe about 4.2 billion, and the Messiah is going to be on the scene. No. Because at that time, we all will govern ourselves and we all will live by the law. So there is nothing that they need to do. There's nothing. We're going to keep the millennial Sabbath. We're going to all live in the.
Are you familiar with the War of Gilead?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't studied it, but I have heard of it.
Okay.
That's the last Gilead, the last bomb or something. The bombs of Gilead did go off or something like that.
No, well, he had an army, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then our army was too big. The Most High wanted to minimize the army because he wanted to show his power in that army. So it says too many people here. Those that decide they want to go home, they don't want to fight in this fight, you can go home right now. Right? So it ended up dwindling down to about 300 men.
Oh, yeah.
Are you familiar with this story?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it now.
Okay, so the Most High did this in antiquity. This is a practice that he demonstrated before. And you're going to sit here in 2021 and tell the world that the Most High don't have enough power to take 144,000 and subdue the earth.
Well, what I'm going to tell you emphatically is that is not the Creator's plan. Let me read what it says. Now, who gets the mark? Hold up. I want to read this to you straight out the book.
Okay, go ahead.
Listen what I'm saying to you. We talk, and it talks about the mark of the beast will be where at? In their foreheads, right? Am I right? Did I lose
in their forehead and their right hand? Yes.
Okay, so let's read Revelations. Let me read Revelations 7, and I'll start with I'll start with 2. Then I saw another angel coming up from the east, having the seal of the living God. He called out in a loud voice to the 4 angels who had been given power to harm the land and the sea. Do not harm them, the land or the sea or the trees, until we put a seal on the foreheads of the servants of our God. Then I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 from all tribes of Israel. Okay. Not only are you getting the seal, but there's going to be a mark on those who are the children of Israel. Okay. Which we talk about, the mark of the beast will be in their foreheads. All right. Then it says from the tribe of Judah, 12,000 were sealed. That means no more from the tribe of Judah can be no more than 12,000. All right. From the tribe of Reuben, 12,000. From the tribe of Gad, 12,000. From the tribe of Asher, 12. From the tribe of Nathal, Natal, 12. From the tribe of Manasseh, 12. From the tribe of Simeon, 12. Levi, 12. Ishkar, 12. Zebulun, 12,000. Joseph, 12,000. And Benjamin, 12,000, which equates to 144,000. Now, you guys are going to be sealed first. You're the first that gets sealed. Then it says, after this, after what happened, after this, I looked, and therefore, and there before me was a great multitude. We're talking about a whole nother people now. A great multitude that no one could count. Now, remember in Abraham, it told Abraham that you couldn't count them. See, you can count Israel. You can't count the seed of Abraham. These match up. This statement matches up with Genesis now. So this is a different people coming. So then it says, and there's a multitude, every nation, tribe, people, and language, standing before the throne and before the Lamb. They were wearing white robes and were holding palm branches in their hands. And they cried out with a loud voice, salvation belongs to our God who is on the throne and to the Lamb. And all the angels were standing around the throne and around the elders, and 4 living creatures fell down on their faces before the throne and worshiped God, saying, Amen, praises and glory. Okay, so what I'm getting at here, and we can go to Daniel 7, and it will confirm what I was saying to you earlier. All right, it tells you that they're going to be marked. These are only Israelites. It told you that they're going to be sealed. You can only get 144,000. Genesis told Abraham that you can look at the stars and you can look at the sand, I believe it talks about, and you can't number them. So we have an issue here now. All right, so let's go to Daniel 7, because when I read this one, I just want to go back over this. It talked about, I'll go over this part again. It said, after this looked, and there before me was a great multitude that no one could count, from every nation. Notice it's saying from every nation, tribes, people, and language. Now, when you go to Daniel 7, which this was not a part of Jesus 2,000 years ago, when he was just he was a prophet. But when this other one comes at the end, which he's talking about, let's start with 11. Daniel 7:11. I beheld them because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body was destroyed and given to a burning flame. And concerning the rest of the beasts, they had the dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. So there's going to be a certain amount of people that had dominion, and it's going to be taken away from them. And then it says, and these were, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. All right, where's
Hey, can I ask you something real quick?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so when it says all people from every languages,
yes.
Can you read Acts chapter 2, starting at the 5th verse?
All right. Did you understand that part that I was? Yes, I am. Let me just. I just wanted to do this, and I'm sorry. And yes, I will read that. Just let me find this one part I didn't want to. I think I started.
Yeah. Because your breakdown is terrible, brother. I just had to let you know that, brother.
Listen to me, Jeremiah.
That was terrible, bro.
Let me tell you why you think that. Because what I just did is I just showed you that you're going to get a seal in the foreheads of the Israelites. You only have an allotted 144,000. It gave you an accurate account. So for you to say that that's terrible, that is called denial. Just for the record.
Hey, absolutely not, brother.
I just read the scriptures, brother. You know that.
You equated the seal on the 144,000 with the mark of the beast.
Yes, I did. Because it said it would be sealed in their foreheads, didn't it?
Is God of the Israelites?
Let me ask you a question. Did it say the mark of the beast will be sealed in their foreheads?
Is the God of the Israelites Satan, brother?
I believe all gods, anything that's considered a god and not the creator, is of lower nature. I don't see the creator.
The creator is also called God, brother.
Well, no, that's not true, and I'll say it in this manner. They've attached God to the creator. And
who they?
Let me explain what I'm gonna say to you. There's many gods. There's only one creator.
Oh my God.
There's no way around.
There's more than one creator, bro. It's more than one creator.
Whoa. How is there more than one creator?
Genesis chapter 1, verse 26.
More than one creator?
Yes.
So you're telling me, let me get this straight. The one that created the universe, that's plural?
Yes.
Wow. Never heard that. I've never heard somebody say that the creator.
Can you go to Genesis chapter? Let me respond, brother.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Can you go to, let me respond, brother.
I said,
can you go to Genesis chapter 1, and let's see if the word Elohim is in the first or second verse. And remember, family, I already showed this brother that Elohim is plural. I already showed him that. So let's show him again. So Joshua, if you could, man, I would do it, but I can't. If you can go to the blue letter and put up Genesis chapter 1, and let's see if we find the word Elohim.
All right.
But Elohim is God, right?
Okay,
brother, Elohim is plural.
Is that's what I'm trying to say. So that's a God where we know that God is plural, because I think it's 1 Corinthians 8:15, if I'm not mistaken. It says there are many gods and many lords.
Right.
Right. So
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there's more than one spirit that dealt with creation.
Well, wait a minute. So you're saying okay? I agree with creation, but not creating the world, the universe, the creator. There's only one creator. That's why I asked you specifically.
I'm going to prove to you right now that that's incorrect.
So you're saying that there's more than one creator again?
Yes.
Wow. All right. Yeah. You're talking about dispensations of time, created times, because I know that there was a people before the Adam and Eve people that I
No, I'm not speaking about that at all.
Because if your Bible says in the beginning was God, that's singular, that's not plural.
Yes, it is plural.
Wow. I don't know how you get that, because
what do you mean?
Hey, real quick, Sons of Jacob really want to have a discussion with so
let's set up a talk one day.
Oh, you don't want them on here? I mean,
we can do that later, because I don't want to break from what we're talking about. I don't have a problem talking to them, but we agreed to talk, and then we can just set up. If you want to talk tomorrow, the next day, I'm cool with it. But I want to stick to what we're doing right now, because this is what we're talking about. I mean, I don't have a problem. Like I said, I don't have a problem, but let's set it up, and I'll be glad to talk to you. But we're 2 hours and 23 minutes in now. So that's a whole nother show. You follow me? Because if he really wants to talk, then let's start from the beginning. And he already has some insight on where I'm from. That's fine. I promise you. We can do it tomorrow. Well, let me see. We can do it Friday. I don't think I have anything to do Friday.
Yeah, while you setting that up, you finna take this L right here and admit to the world.
Listen,
that
bro.
there's more than one creator, brother.
No, brother. There's not more than one creator. I don't even see how you could fix your. I can't even see how you can fix your mouth to think that there was duplicity in creating this universe.
Okay. Can you explain this? Go to Genesis 1:26, Joshua. I know you got the plural. brother, hold up. While he got that pulled up, it's right there in front of us. Is the word Elohim in Genesis 1?
Is the word Elohim in Genesis 1?
It is when it says in the beginning God. That's H430 Elohim.
Well, here again. This is what I don't get. If Elohim is talking about God, it should say plurally Elohims, not Elohim. All right, that's what I'm saying to you, brother.
Brother,
Did you just put an English? Hold on, just better put an English rule on Hebrew.
Because let's first of all let's get this clear. Let's get this clear, brother. The Hebrew language, and this is no disrespect, the Hebrew language has phased out of respect.
What?
Yes, the Hebrew language became
even if it is phased out, brother. Even if it is phased out, we're reading a text. Hold on, brother. We're reading a text that is translated from Hebrew. That's why we're in the blue letter for the translation of it.
Wait a minute. Before Abraham and them came, there was a language prior to. So you can't call that. And it was what is it, Adamatic or Adamatic? So you just can't take language and make it Hebrew.
The Bible is translated from Hebrew, brother. The Bible is translated from Hebrew. What are you talking about, brother?
What I'm trying to say is before Hebrew. And you're going into Genesis. Genesis was before the Hebrew people. Correct?
Oh my God, bro!
And that first Genesis 1 is that not before the Hebrew people?
If I can bring out this information, because I let you talk without interruption, so I'm asking you to let me do the same.
Go ahead. You're talking back, but yes, sir. Of course, you already know.
Let me substantiate this point,
yes,
and
sir.
then you can respond. I want everybody that can hear me. The word Elohim is plural. Joshua, can you click on the word Elohim?
Yeah.
Again, I've already shown this. Can everybody see right at the beginning? It says that this word is plural. Anything that is plural is more than one. Okay? Now, let me further substantiate that with Genesis 1:26.
All right. Genesis 1:26 says, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
So, Brother Daron, you're going to have to explain to me what is going on.
Sure.
Right here in the 26th verse.
Sure. Let me. That is very simple, but it may be kind of deep for you. Now, in Genesis 1:26, it's talking about this was done on the 6th day. Am I correct?
Hold up. When it said let us,
right? Listen.
Let me just say this. When it says let us make, isn't that creating?
Can I get to what I'm trying? You want me to answer it? I'm trying to answer it. Now, what this is talking about? It's talking about the 6th day, which is really the 6,000th year. It's in a future time, because if you read through the whole chapter, it changed the whole dietary law at that time, that there is no animal being eaten on the 6th day. This is why I'm a vegan today, because I pay attention to what the scriptures truly mean. Now,
you pay attention to the scriptures, but deny the scriptures at the same time. You are amazing, brother. You are amazing.
You just asked me. You just asked me, though. I said what they truly mean. So when I say what they truly mean, what I mean is there's also things in the scriptures that I'm not going to follow, that I'm not going to believe, because I see the hypocrisy in it. So that's my point. But let me answer your question now. Now, when it says let us make man in our image and in our likeness. The Creator also says in the New Testament, it says that you did not sacrifice a animal, but you sacrificed yourself and you gave that body. Now, it's not a sacrifice of blood. That's not what that's about. It means that he turned over his life to follow the life of the Creator, so that the Creator would be made known to the people. Notice in that same statement, it doesn't mention anything about a woman anymore. It talks about male and female. It doesn't call any, he's the only man. And everything is male and female because he becomes a vicegerent. He becomes one to stand in the place for the Creator. That's the lamb they're talking about in that 6th day. And that's why I'm trying to explain it to you.
Can you please tell me what the hell is a vicegerent, brother? I mean,
yes, a vicegerent. I explained it. A vicegerent. A vicegerent. I did explain it to you, brother. A vicegerent is one to stand in the place of, but he doesn't take over the Creator. So, in other words, when that lamb or when that Messiah, he's the Creator's flesh, the body for the Creator, because we're not allowed to see the Creator. So he is the vicegerent. He is the one that's the sacred body where the Creator is in that one 100%. Now, in Genesis, hold on, wait, let me finish. In Genesis 1, bro, let me finish this part. In Genesis 1, I think it's 1:2 or 1:3, it talks about the Spirit will hover upon the face of the water. Well, that body must marry that Spirit at a certain time, and that Spirit will then come out of the water and then go into that man's body. Now, if you go back and you look in Israel, they talk about how the water dried up in the Jordan River because the Spirit had been placed in the body. Now, when Yeshua or Jesus did it 2,000 years ago, it never dried up because the Spirit remained there, because it doesn't come until the last 1,000 years. And the human who's supposed to take that position will be baptized in that river, and the Spirit will then take on his body, will go into his body, and he will be given the knowledge and the wisdom, and he will have to grow into who he is. He doesn't know it, so he learns. So that's why it says, let us make man in our image and our likeness. So he's like a clot. The Quran says it in this way. It says he's developing from a clot.
Who?
Huh? Who what?
Who are you talking about, brother?
I'm
Who's
talking
the
about
vicegerent, brother? Who's that?
It's a man physically on earth today. He's here now. That's why the Jordan River dried up. You got to know the sign.
Ron, man, you gotta let me interject, brother. Come on, man.
I'm answering you.
Hold on, bro. What did I miss? Because I must not be hearing the same conversation.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. Go look up the Jordan River. Okay. The Jordan River had dried up. They were throwing trash and everything in there. I think it happened. I think the article I have is like 2011, 2010, maybe earlier. Now, for 2,000 years, that river is the actual river in Genesis where the Spirit was placed upon. This is why Yeshua, who you call Jesus, went there. That's how significant that river was. And this is why at one time, Israelites and the Arabs were fighting for it back in 65 or 64. They were warring for that river. Now, there came a time where that river had dried up because the Spirit that was placed in it actually went into a physical human being, a male child. And this is a sign for only the wise to see that. Now, those over there that know the truth, they got the real scriptures, they know what myself is talking about. But we're not privileged to that information.
So
They
let
were,
me get this straight, because I'm trying to follow you, right? I'm not even being combative.
no.
So are you saying that there was a spirit residing in the Jordan River that possessed a baby child? And I'm guessing that baby child was Jesus Christ.
It wasn't that he was a man well, not a man. He was an older person. He's around 19 years old at the time.
And he drank the water and got possessed.
He didn't drink it. He was dipped in it. Just like this is why I say some of these scriptures have a lot of validity. So he was dipped in just like, well, wait a minute. Jesus 2,000 years ago didn't get that spirit or that dove ascending upon him until after he came out the water. So that's the exact same thing with this individual, but it happens at the end of time. So all I was saying to you was, if Jesus 2,000 years ago had received that spirit, then that water should have dried up back then, but it didn't. It stayed the same river all the way up until about 2000, let's say between 5 and 12. I don't have the paper in front of me right now, and it's in the Tel Aviv paper. You can go online and type it up and say, when did the Jordan River dry up? And they'll show where it was dry. They'll show where they were throwing trash in it. And then I think they started to restore it and put water back in it later on, because now people are going back there being baptized. But it dried up because that spirit was taken out. And that was the sign to the wise, is what I'm saying to you.
So it's just one spirit, or did one back to
one spirit? It was only one spirit in the very beginning. And that's what I was trying to say in Genesis 1:2. It said, and the spirit hovered upon the face of the water.
And this spirit had a fleshly body.
It goes into the body that was preserved for it, but that body is the sacred body. It's only one Lord, one faith, one baptism.
Hold up, brother. What body and what flesh was in existence that this spirit? When was this body created? Between Genesis 1 and 2?
No, in our time. Just like we are.
Is not about our time. Why do you keep doing that, brother?
Hold on. It is. You just don't see it. Now, let me explain to you. Listen, let me explain to you what I'm going to say. Because in Revelations, at the end, in Revelations, it talks about that there will be a multitude of people, then you can't count it. Well, when Moses came to free the Israelites back then, it wasn't that multitude that you couldn't count. So that passage in Genesis 15:15 is not talking about Exodus. I'm not sure what verse that is. It's talking about Revelation 7:16 or Revelation 15. Because it's the exact same conversation. What my personal thought is, brother, is I think you're neglecting to read the passage for what it is, because you're trying to put a square in a circle peg and it don't belong there, or a triangle in a rectangle, and you can't do that.
Sir, excuse me, sir. We're not talking about no rectangles, okay? Let me make this extremely clear. Joshua, can you give me let me finish, brother, without interruption, because I didn't interrupt you. All right?
Stop it. You know we talking, bro. I got you. Respect.
All right. I'm just saying, man, because you are a master of deflection, okay? So let me...
I'm deflecting from nothing. I've answered everything.
All right. So, again, Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 is a floating body that was preserved.
Now what? No, hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna stop you. Nobody said anything about a body floating. Now, either one or two things is happening. Either you're driving and you can't pay attention, or you just talking off the cuff.
The spirit.
Yeah, I know what I said, brother. But he's trying to deflect. Now that's deflection at its finest.
No, sir. Let me just reply, because we're trying to get some understanding of what's going on. Yeah. Why is the Bible in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, right? Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, saying God in a plural sense?
No, it does say in the beginning was God. It doesn't say plural. It says God. In the beginning was God.
Did you not just see that word God was H430?
Listen, bro, let me say something to you. Because somebody put something there, I have enough common sense to know that if it wanted to be plural, it would have been an S there.
And can you, and what was going on in Genesis 1:26?
And 126 is talking about a future man that comes, that sacrifices his body, his ways, and he leaves the world that he once was in, and he starts to follow and being guided by the actual creator. So he's sacrificing his body so that the creator can come down, like the word said, prepare a body for me that I can go down. This is what all this is talking about. And this is why I said to you in Genesis, in 126, in that same passage, it changed the whole dietary law. It talks about every cattle, it talks about every beast, and it talks about every human, all will eat the same thing. We're not doing that yet.
Brother.
Oh, wait,
what is that, brother? Hold on, brother. What does that have to do with let us make man in our image? What are you talking about, brother?
Well, slow down, bro. I don't want you to bust no blood vessels. Slow down. I'm trying to explain to you that that's not the man 6,000 years ago is talking about. That Adam is not that Adam. You got to remember the Bible also says that there will be a second Adam. Okay, so when you're reading Genesis 1:26, you're reading about the second Adam, not the first one.
Oh man! All right, hey, Joshua, do me a favor, Bubba Kashai. Could you get me Colossians chapter 1, 12?
Did you get what I was saying, bro?
Hell no, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Let me run that by you because I think that's important for you to understand because you're trying to make a premise. Now, why the brother's doing that? When you said 126 and it says, let us make man in our image and our likeness, I'm explaining to you that you're well aware of. Do you agree that there is a second Adam to come and he is considered the quickening spirit?
Yes.
Okay, so what I was putting together for you was that man's body will be placed in the Jordan River, and that spirit that belongs to that body will go into that man. It was not Jesus 2,000 years ago, as I was explaining. One, he never had a government. Two, he never freed anybody. Three, some claim that he came from a female without the usage of a man. So when this one comes, comes from a male and a female, but then his teacher, his guide is the creator. So he becomes the son of his creator. Not that he doesn't have a mother and father. He has a mother and a father, but he's going to be the father of what he brings to teach, because there's none before him in that manner. So I think there's a lot of misunderstanding that's going on when people are reading this stuff. That's why it says my people die in the streets for lack of knowledge.
Can I respond?
Floor is yours.
Joshua, can you read 112? Is that Colossians?
You still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody just wrote on here while he's doing that. Somebody just wrote on here, Daron, Jesus was in the Jordan River already. I totally agree with that. I didn't deny that he wasn't there. What I did say was the river never dried up after he left, but it dried up about 10 years ago, which means that he was not the recipient of that spirit. He had a portion of it. Did we lose Jeremiah? I mean, Jeremiah?
Oh man, I'm muted the whole time. I was talking.
I couldn't see your thing said mute. And I think Jeremiah popped off, so he might be coming back.
Yeah, we lost Jeremiah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he's driving.
All right, so okay, so the Messiah is here based upon the Jordan drying and that spirit going in and possessing somebody. We don't know who this somebody is, though, right?
Right. He hasn't been revealed yet, but he is definitely on the earth now. And like I would implore anybody to do, go read what it says about the 6th day, how the animals, the beasts, the people, everybody, every herb bearing seed and fruit will be for your meats. It will be your flesh. And that because it's going to be a different spirit employed upon everything. It talks about how the quickening spirit, all of their spirits will change. This is when they talk about the lamb will lay with the lion, the whatever, these beasts with these gentle ones. They'll all be able to lay together. And that's talking about people in general too. So it's not just talking about physical animals out in the kingdom of the animal kingdom, but it's talking about humans with that type of vigorous attitude or way, because it's going to be all types of people coming into the new heaven and the new earth, and while there be a new heavens in our minds, but it's going to change the spirit, and the spirit has never been changed since the fall.
Right. So is it safe to say that we can narrow down who this person is by going back to whatever that date of the Jordan River beginning to dry, and say, okay, whoever's around this area during that time has got to be out of those group of people?
Yeah, but it's so many people, brother. It's going to be virtually impossible, because it actually happened before that time, because, it just didn't dry up once the person got out of it, things with time. So it ended up drying up throughout time. And this is how the wise ones knew the prophecy was fulfilled. See, we don't know all of this stuff because they don't tell us all of this. So what I will say to you is he's from here. He's a child of our people, because remember, he has to go to a people that was like the children of Moses. He has to go to the people and be like he's got to be like Moses and like Jesus. He's got to be like both of those. Actually, brother, I'll send you a paper I wrote years ago on it, how he's likened to Moses and the man who they call Jesus. He has to fulfill both, but he can't become like a Jesus or a Messiah until the people wake up and are ready to be freed.
Okay. Nerdy Bruce says Jesus is the second Adam in Corinthians. It says the second Adam is not born of the flesh or earth.
Well, everybody is born from the flesh of the earth, so that wouldn't make sense. And what I would say is, if he thought that, then why does Jesus say in John 16? Can you pull up John 16:13? I can pull it up.
I got you.
Yeah, I was going to read it though. That way you didn't have to read it, brother.
John 16, what? 13?
Yeah, but it goes a little deeper. But 13 is where I usually start. But I'll start on 13. Well, you know what? Well, I'll just go to 13 for now. Why is this not reading?
All right, I got it. You want me to read it, or what's going on?
Yeah, for some reason, my crazy one didn't. Oh, you know why? I went to Genesis. I'm like, why is this thing saying what it's saying? If you want to read it, you can. That's fine, brother.
It says, howbeit when he, the spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. For he shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear, that shall he speak, and he will show you the things to come.
Can you stop right there? Now, that's Jesus talking about a man that the spirit's going to be in that man. Now, just like in Deuteronomy 18:18, when Moses was told that one would come and I would put my words in his mouth, and whatever so he shall hear, he shall speak. That's the exact same thing. But it's not Jesus, because Jesus is talking about another one. If you want to go ahead, we'll see where Jesus is deferring to. Well, he's deferred right there, because he says, howbeit when he comes, he will guide you. And he we know to be a man.
Yeah.
So, I appreciate the dialogue, because that's why I said we got to start using our faculty of reasoning. And if this is Jesus talking about this, what this one is going to do, because Jesus tells them previously before that, I think like maybe 2 or 3 verses before that, and maybe a couple more. I don't know all the scriptures. I just know where I want to go. But he says that there are many things that I could tell you, but the people at that time weren't ready. But when he uses the word I, much like myself, he's referring to the Spirit. He's not talking about himself. And a lot of people get thrown off when they hear myself using I as if Daron is speaking about Daron. When Daron is saying I, Daron is speaking, that is the name of the Spirit, I. That's why it says, if my people would turn from their wicked ways and seek if my people who are called by my name would turn from their wicked ways and seek my face. Well, like I try to tell everybody, there's only one name we use other than our actual given name, excluding nicknames, is I. Everybody, if you ask everybody who logged you on your computer, everybody would have the ability to say I did. It is impossible for all of us to be I, but that is our common denominator. This is the other name, because you can't say God am, you can't say Yahweh am, but you can say I am Yahweh, I am God, I am I first. And am is the state of being, or it's the preposition where it's letting you know that it's alive.
Right. But I got a question because we ended on 13, but 14 says,
yes, sir.
He shall glorify me.
Right.
So the Spirit has to glorify Christ, right?
No, Jesus is in Christ. What he's saying is he will agree with some of the stuff that he's saying. He's glorifying. Like when people try to make Jesus the Christ, but if he did not fulfill what the Christ was, and Job talks about it as a precursor of the Messiah or the Christ, and it was told to Satan that he asked, if you remove the hedge from his head, I'll make him curse you to your face. And the Creator told him the only thing you can't do is kill him. Now, how is Job greater than Jesus 2,000 years ago? That wouldn't make sense. And he's the precursor. So if he's a precursor, then the Christ should be someone that the devil or Satan or whatever name you want to call him can't kill him. So then again, that doesn't make sense. I don't believe we're marrying the scriptures to what they actually mean. And I think a lot of that comes from that people have been taught what to think, where to go. And then you have a lot of scribes. And that's why Jesus didn't deal with a lot of that. A lot of times people are like, well, what did this scribe say when they talk to me? I'm self-guided. So there's no human that can say that I'm under their tutelage. That's why when you hear what myself is saying, it's so far off of what a lot of people talk about. And it seems like it could be rhetoric or heresy. But think about it. That's the exact same thing that they said to Jesus when he came. We have to start thinking for ourselves. We gotta pull ourselves away from these rituals and really ask yourself, is this really what it means? Am I following? And I believe you were on the panel. And when I was talking the other day, when I was trying to show that Rebecca and Jacob was a bad seed, and they said that nothing good can come from that. But yet people always want to say that this God or this Lord ordained it. And I can't figure out how a God or a Lord would ordain someone to lie or someone to steal or covet when it talks about those as being the 10 commandments not to do. For the life of me, I can't figure out why we're following that or believing in that when we know better at the end. If we really sat down and thought about it and said, you know what, that doesn't make sense, and not let the word God put a veil over our eyes.
All right, brother. Good information, man. We about at 3 hours.
Yeah, we can shut it down. If you got contact with the brothers Jacob's son or son of Jacob,
yeah,
link it up. And if he wants to do it Friday, I should be good. I'm good Friday.
Okay. All right, man. Hezekiah, you heard that, man. I know you're in the audience. Just let me or Jeremiah know if you're available then, and we'll try to set that up on Friday.
Yeah, you ain't lying, my brother. There's like 90 comments over there.
I told you. You got it jumping, man.
It's jumping.
These brothers wanted to speak with you, man. They had questions and everything. So you a superstar.
No. I'm nowhere near a superstar, brother. I'm just your brother. That's it. Nowhere near. Yeah, we can tell the brother what we can do is if we want to answer some of them questions, some more questions, is up to you. We can do that, and then me and the brother can go after that. I would, if that's fine, or we can do it after. It doesn't matter either way.
I don't know, man. We just have to figure it out.
Yeah, we play it by ear.
Yeah.
I'll get with Jeremiah, and maybe me, you, and Jeremiah can do a conference call, and then we can take it from there.
Yeah. We'll work something out, brother.
I appreciate you, brother. Yashub, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I appreciate your spirit, my brother. You're a humble guy. That's why I asked Jeremiah to have you with him, because I felt it. I felt that when we spoke. All right. So all I like just to sign off is saying all praises are due to I, for there's none higher, no more wiser than I. I is not Daron. I is who myself as see is the spirit of all.
All right. So we're gonna sign off. I'm gonna let my brother Jeremiah's video play as we sign off. And we out of here, man.
Yes, sir.
Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.
Already in there. Yeah, subscribe to the brothers.
Nothing can stop you all the way up. We all the way up. And we're all the way up. Shoot all the way up. E37, we all the way up. Tell me what you need. Yeah, I will also sustain the tents of Judah first. That the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. Hey, going up the phone. Hey, going up the phone. In the air just to let them know. Me and my Hebrew tribe throwing up the phone. Throw your tribe in the air just to let them know. Me and my Hebrew tribe throwing up the phone. Man, it's Hebrew swag, man, is out of here. Flying in the air through the clouds like a chariot. Go to the store to buy this, they don't carry it. The heathens come down to the hood, we don't let them in. spend all of my time with my people though. Here's another extra fly song, hit the dance floor. Know what you done and we started in all the trends. It's an Israelite at the door, but just let him in. Look at this brew, extra fly man, he dressed to kill. No, we not Candy Rain, but we're so for real. Hell be the first place they throw the phone. Put your hands off in the air just to let them know. Hey, 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 going up the phone. Hey, 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 going up the phone. Throw your tribe in the air just to let them know. Me and my Hebrew tribe throwing up the phone. Throw your tribe in the air just to let them know. Me and my Hebrew tribe throwing up the phone.
Yeah, it's the year was the hold up. When you hear the Yahoo and see the foes up, make all my people two-step in this. Judah Black folk tribe, yeah, we rep with this. I got my SIG on me, but on the low I keep it cool. Old school gang, speak not to a fool. Never compromise cause I play by the rules. Fear of your hour, so it's like I don't abuse. Yeah, so folk tribe get a play back. Northern Gate, West Bank, first to say that. Fake you cocksucker, we don't play that. The first city with the foes on the map. Hands on Hebrews with the strap in the back. And when it comes to the spirit, we stay on attack like King David and his sons. Folk tribe where we from. Ain't a thing built a kingdom from a crumb. Righteous, you can keep your priests and your nuns. But kill the deck, you the king and priest. Crown the lion of Yahweh, I to him I speak.
Hey, 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 going up the phone. Hey, 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 going up the phone. Throw your tribe in the air just to let them know. Me and my Hebrew tribe throwing up the phone.
Get the flow up, throw your force up, froze up, about to blow. Party till we fold up. Dedication to our king and the nation. We at the feast, get good old place. I'm Ashiaki, I was shot, no patience. Brothers falling off, no patience. Speak against the laws, he's Satan. Talk about the royal laws, you break it. Looking good like a vacation. We the real Jews, no fake. Jeremiah on his way, location. We do it big in the heart of the nation.
Hey, 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 going up the phone. Hey, 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 going up the phone. Throw your tribe in the air just to let them know. Me and my Hebrew tribe throwing up the phone. Throw your tribe in the air just to let them know. Me and my Hebrew tribe throwing up the phone. In the air just to let them know. Me and my Hebrew tribe throwing up the phone. In the air just to let them know. Me and my Hebrew tribe throwing up the phone.
All right, we out. SUC.